Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PCMR podcast Best of Year Top 10 lists for a bunch of
permanent
things.
guest host. Have I been
and we've got
demoted
some
now?
cracking choices this year. As always, I am your host, Aiden, joined by my illustrious
review.
permanent
Okay.
guest host, Brett Page.
Year-end reviews. Is that what it is? PCMR year-end reviews.
You've been promoted.
gee
Before you were just
willikers,
guest, now
boss.
you're permanent guest host,
Lisa's-
pending a
Oh,
review.
you had to bring it back to that, didn't you? We were having serious adult conversations before this, and this is not what this podcast is
year-end
about,
review.
Aiden.
And guess what, Brett? You're sticking around for another year.
Yes,
Oh,
entertainment, fun
the lease has
things.
been renewed on you.
Yes, because we enjoy media. Yes.
No. This is
Yes.
about the
And
best
it's really
of
evident
entertainment,
right now because, like, putting
both in
together these
music,
lists,
TV
we're
shows,
both just
and
like, we
films
watch
alike.
far too many
And
movies and TV shows.
We do. We consume it ravenously, I believe is the correct term.
Yeah. Oh,
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I think I watched more TV shows and movies this year,
I've
but
watched more movies.
I
think I had
consumed a lot of things that I
24 new movies
thought I
this
should
year
have
I
watched
But if you
in the
count
last
watch
couple of weeks.
hours,
And boy,
like,
am I glad I
definitely
watched them, because
spent
they
more
definitely made the
time
list,
watching
all of them.
TV. Yeah, I was about 24. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
More time watching TV, definitely. I think I watched about
Oh, yeah, mine's probably quite
29
large
movies
as well. Because I,
this year.
you know, you gotta go back
That's just
and watch
movies that
some
came
old
out
stuff
this year,
sometimes.
not including movies that came out previous years that I saw this year.
You
So
haven't seen Whiplash? Oh
You
my
would
god,
include
it's
those.
so good.
it's probably a few more. It's probably
Man,
more
if
like
you-
40 or something.
If
but-
you want to see,
Mm.
I'm blanking on his name. J. Jonah Jameson. What's his name?
Yeah,
Fuck.
I still haven't
Yes,
seen
J.K.
Whiplash. I need to
Simmons.
get around to that. That came. I haven't seen Whiplash. I know. It's on my list. J.K. Simmons. I've
Yeah,
seen
well,
like
it's like,
little
if you just
clips,
wanna
or not
see
seen the
him
clips, but
just
I've seen like bits where like
yelling
people have spliced
and
in
throwing shit, it is
dialogue
perfect.
from the film
Got some
into
great
clips of
acting,
him
and
on Legend of
Miles
Korra, where he's just
Teller
like
is
yelling at
actually-
Korra, and I want to watch it. It's on my list. I
Yes,
definitely.
yes, pretty much.
I'm gonna get to
Yeah.
it.
But no, it's no, it's real good.
Yes, I do.
Like I'd say that's a priority. That's how I.
J.
that's how
Jonah
much I
Jameson
like it.
yelling at Mr. Fantastic. Yes, please sign me up. Yeah. Your movie's shit. Fuck you.
Oh, well,
I wasn't
I have
Spider-Man.
a lot of them
Ah!
as well. Probably Whiplash is probably the one of them I have over you. So
All right. Yeah. I've got a few that
Yeah.
are like
you probably have
big
a lot
like
of
critic
all the
like,
old
oh, you
movies I've
should
missed.
see these films that I've got to get to, but it's just
Yeah, you started earlier than me. It wasn't until I was like 16 when I really got into movies.
enjoy it because I probably have a
Whoa.
few more. I don't know.
Fuck. With that, let's move into the
Probably.
main event because
You know, you. I started earlier
yes,
than
let's
you.
move into an actual
you-
list. What do we want to start with? Movies, TV shows, or albums?
I've been woke for a long time, Brett.
We'll see. I haven't done a singles list. Oh,
Let's move into other things that came out in 2016.
oh, I've been avoiding it. I can't choose.
Let's start with
My
albums.
singles
Do you want to
will
go
all come
singles
from
or
the albums on my
albums,
list
first?
anyway. So
Have you done like a hot Triple J Hottest 100 thing, or you haven't done it yet? No. All right. Well, I'll do mine quickly because I've got it here. Where is me Instagram? Only
okay, fair enough. Anyway, go for your singles list.
two of these,
so
three
you
of
didn't
these
make an order
come
to this
from
one.
albums on my list. The rest were, things that didn't quite make it, or
Okay,
they were
okay.
singles from other albums that they were the only thing I liked on it. Or so, yeah. All right, this is in no particular order.
Definitely will be on mine when I do it.
No, this was just what I put in for the hottest 100 votes, so no particular order in this one. DJ Shadow featuring Run the Jewels, Nobody Speak. Let Live, Good Morning
Well, yeah,
America.
with the hottest 100, sometimes as well, I'll go
Metallica,
for a song by an artist
Hardwired.
that I don't like. As much as
Although
the
it's
other
probably
one,
not my
but
favorite
I know
song
will
on
chart
the album,
better.
but I thought it's probably my favorite single from the album, if that makes
Hey,
sense.
well,
Because they didn't release the other one. as
Dude,
a
last
single,
year we
so-
both got number 2 because we both went King Kunta. So
Yeah, it's
No
one.
one called
I just
it.
want to get
No
a song
one
on the
called the
list.
Reuben
Like,
Spinks.
I feel good about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think when that happened, like
We
the whole of
did.
Australia was like, "Wait,
That
what?
felt
We
very good. I mean,
came on
didn't
this
feel
number
as good
two."
as like
'Cause up
it
until
being
that
beaten
point,
by
everyone's
some
like,
lame
"What the
ass
hell
white
could-"
boy band. But who the fuck votes
I
for
don't know. I don't know.
Hoops by the? What do you mean, Hoops and everything beat King motherfucking Kunta? That don't make no goddamn sense to me. Anyway, yeah, Dune Rats bullshit, which was just a single this year. The album comes out last year, I guess. Album comes out this year.
Oh, I like that. I'll probably put that on
Clowns
my list. I
Destroy
actually
the
really like that
Evidence.
song.
Actually, it's probably one of my favorite singles from last year.
It-
if I'm being
that it
honest,
is.
I bumped this song quite a few many times. The Bennies, Detroit Rock Siggies, classic tune. It's a fucking banger. It's a good summer song. The Smith Street Band, Deaf to the Lads, also only song that came out from them this year. DZ Death Rays, Blood in My Leather, one of 2 singles they released this year. The Men
That'll
Singers
probably definitely
Lookers
be the
album
Nano
comes
song on my
out
list.
this year. They only released 2 singles last year. Album comes out, I think, February, which is when I'm
Yeah.
seing them. So I'm pretty damn excited.
See, just
See
you
that.
saying that list, and
And
you said,
Childish
2 of them come
Gambino,
from albums on my
Red
list.
Bone.
I know in my head which albums are on your list. Because keep in
Yeah,
mind, folks, we haven't
I
discussed
was
this
flicking
between
through
us.
the
so this is
album, and
new to
it's
us.
probably my favorite single from the album.
Yeah, I didn't
if
want
I'm
to spoil it because I've been
being
really
honest.
looking forward to this episode. Because not only am I excited to tell you what my lists are, I'm excited to hear what yours are. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I think we'll do albums.
Yeah,
first
I didn't
because
wanna,
I feel
like-
like albums will be the one that's quite different for the both of us because we've always had a quite different.
I am
music
as well.
taste.
I am as well. I want to know.
Yeah,
What did you like?
Yeah, I think we know. I think we already both know the 2 that'll be the
Mm-hmm.
same.
Yeah, probably. I think we'll have. I'm guessing 2
Whichever way.
that'll be the same, and the rest will be who knows. Yeah, we
I
probably
have a
do.
tube of super
All right,
glue. Let me
albums.
flip
All right, let me
that.
get my list. Do you want to go?
Okay.
Number 10 for me, number 10 for you, or your list, my list?
Turtle.
Flip a coin. You got a coin? Which way to do it? Hold on, I got pick. Flip that.
Okay,
gotta
I'll go
pick.
first.
Hold on,
I just got
flip
super
that.
glue on my fingers. I picked up the tube
I'm a
of
poor
super glue and
musician. This is
leaked
all I
it
have.
all.
All right.
Anyway.
Turtle or blank?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, so number 10 on my list. Drum roll.
Turtle,
No,
your
wait,
choice.
I'm not going to do that because then I'll have to edit in a drum roll for every number. I've got 10 on my list. I only did 10 albums.
All right.
Okay.
So we doing your list, my list,
Yeah, okay,
or
so number 10 is The Devil
all right,
Wears
cool.
Prada's new
Your list.
album, Transit Blues. Devil Wears Prada being one of my favorite bands for years.
Have you
They're
just
like
got
one of the
10,
first
or
bands
is
I listened
it
to when I was
like
getting
a-
into heavy music?
Okay, cool.
And
Yeah, I
while
only did
this-
10 for this one as well.
I
All right.
feel like every damn time, every damn time.
Ooh.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, man. I really love Anne Hathaway on
Every
that
damn
album.
time. Every time. No.
And what's that
Yeah.
other one? It's
See,
not
I feel
Helen
like-
Mirren.
Yeah.
What's that other old lady? From?
I
Meryl
feel like
Streep.
I break up
Yeah.
soon, but since
Lead
it's just-
singer Meryl Streep.
Anyway, I feel like with most of my albums this year, it's all
It's a
bands
joke
that I
that will
love
only get old when I
releasing
die.
albums that just aren't quite as good
Or when the
as their
band stops
last
existing.
one.
Whichever happens
I feel
first.
like most of my
Probably
list
the
is that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like all these albums on my list. Don't get me wrong. I definitely
There
really like these albums, but at the
A
same
lot
time,
of
they're
things
like,
on
you
that
know,
didn't quite
I
make my
still
list
like
that
your
were things
last
from
album
bands that I
better.
loved previous years that this year that
Yeah.
I heard it and was like, yeah, it's not as good as the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, with this album, I think that there was 2 songs in this album that
Yeah,
really
it's pretty
actually
much
made it
the
make
same
the
for
list.
all of
Praise
these except
Poison
maybe
and
2 of
To
them.
the Key of Evergreen.
were
They're both bangers.
ones I liked better
They're
than the last album they put out, but
proper
yeah.
bangers. No,
Alright.
it's just- I love the way their rhythm guitar works in those songs. I love a good rhythm that flows throughout this song, and it's very led by
yeah.
the rhythm guitar, and the vocalist is just he has a
Proper
very
bangers?
unique style. Like it's a wrong style, and he's going to destroy his voice, but it's a unique style. Won't be good forever. Yeah, well,
Ooh.
like if you've actually learned how to do it, then yeah. But
Well, it's
see, I
good
was
for
watching
now,
it in,
but I hope he
yeah,
doesn't like talking later on in life. Hey,
yeah. Well, keep
you
in
can't
mind,
really be a
metalcore's only
metalcore
been
vocalist
around since
later on
like
in
the
life. Like a death
2000s,
metal
so
vocalist, yeah,
some of them are
but
getting to be like 10-year-olds now.
mm,
August Burns
I don't know. It
Red,
just seems
one of
it
their
feels kind
albums
of
is
wrong
10
to
years
be
old
like an
this year.
old metalcore band.
Yeah, but anyway, that's my number 10, Devil Wears Prada, Transit Blues. Decent album, though not as good as 818.
True.
We'll go me, you, me,
Damn,
you. So what's your number 10?
these genres. All right.
Ooh.
Okay. Alrighty. So what's number 9? Or are we doing my 10? All right. Number 10 is something I didn't expect to be on my list, but when I was looking back at like
I've
which
never listened
albums
to
that I
that
actually
band.
listened to in full and enjoyed this year, we've got a few surprises that I don't think would have been on my list a couple of years ago. Number 10 is Wildflower by the Avalanches.
I love that song.
Okay, they're not a band. They are I think they're
them
Australian,
guys.
and they're sampleologists, I believe is a term one could use for them. Have you ever heard the song, That Boy Needs Therapy, Psychoschematic, That Boy Needs Therapy, that one?
I love that song
Yeah,
too.
that's
oh my God,
these
I need to listen to
guys.
this band.
Yeah, this is like the first album they've
I
done
need to listen to
since
this. I
that one.
need to listen to this. I love
They're
both
the
of
guys
those
who did that
songs.
Frankie Sinatra song you might have heard on Triple J a couple of times. Frankie Sinatra. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's they're pretty damn good. No, definitely look up. There's a compilation thing on, I think it's on Vimeo. It was done by a guy named Soda Jerk, who's basically like taken their aesthetic of well, he's got his own aesthetic, but matched it with theirs, where they're kind of sampling from a bunch of different things and bringing it together to create this new thing.
Wow.
And he's done that, where he's done this like 13 to 20 minute long music video where he's just taken bits and pieces from the album and squashed it together by sampling various pieces from like different cartoons or different movies and like splicing it all together into this one kind of
I feel like I
coherent
need to
thing.
listen
And
to it because
it
both
works
those songs
really
are like
well,
fun
and
songs
it's
that I love. Because I
it's
love
amazing
fun
to
songs
watch.
like
So,
that.
like,
It's the same
that's
thing.
kind of what pushed
Same
this
reason
over the
why
edge,
I
where I was
really
like, you know what?
love the song on Gambino's
Just for this
new album,
music video
California.
alone, this
like,
album
it's
is
a dumb
like
song, and he's
in my
not,
list.
using
So,
his
yeah.
full vocal potential or whatever. But it's like a really fun song, and it's creative. You know, like
Yeah, it's a bunch of fun songs. That's probably my least favorite song on the album, but it's still
Yeah.
a good song. Yeah. I'm sorry. But
Well,
yeah,
see, the thing is with YouTube, you
no,
can
you'd
have
like it.
copyright stuff
It's
on it.
fun.
You just
And
don't
definitely
get
look
the
up
money
that
for
music
it. So if
video. I
they
think,
wanted to
yeah,
actually get,
I don't think you can find it on
paid
YouTube
for all their
because
views.
fucking copyright strikes got it straight away. But yeah, it's good. It's
Definitely.
on Vimeo. You should be able to find it.
I feel like this time next year I'll have lots more of that stuff on my list because it's been this year really that I've started.
I think
having
there's
bit
a
more
version of
fast
it, but
music
it's
taste. Like, my list
silent,
doesn't really
so you
show
don't.
it that much.
The
this
point is
year,
to listen
but
to the music and watch
until
it.
next
So
year, it really will.
Vimeo should be able to find it. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's been happening for me
Well, I
like
still
last year and
feel
this
like
year.
next
I've
year will be really
very
a lot
much
more
branched
fast.
out
It's
of
been
like
real
there's
lately
not
I've started to
a
actually
lot
listen to
of
a lot.
metal or kind of rock
But
stuff on my
anyway,
list. There's a bit here
my
and there,
number
but
9
it's
is a pop punk
Yeah.
surprise band. Smart ass. No, they're called Real Friends, and I actually only started listening to these guys last year.
All right, let's get into
One of
your
those
number
bands
9.
where, like, the first time I listened to them, I really didn't care for them. But then the
What?
next time
Brett
I
likes
came back to
pop
them, I'm
punk?
like,
Get the
wow,
fuck out of here.
I didn't like this the first time. This is really good. Yeah.
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 There have been a few things like that for me. I think even the first time I heard "Run the Jewels,"
Yeah, well,
there
that was
one
me
song
with
I liked.
this band, Real
And then the
Friends,
rest
and
of
that
them
was
kinda
actually
like,
me with the
it's
Wonder
alright.
Years, and you
Over
know how
time,
much
I've
I
been like,
sweat the Wonder
all of these
Years.
are bangers. Run the Jewels can do no wrong. So it's slowly evolved from like, yeah, I like this
They're
one
probably
song
like
to
my
like
favorite band.
everything they do is gold.
But anyway, we're not talking about them. They didn't release an album this year.
Mm.
They're from America somewhere.
You
I
sweat
don't
it.
know.
You
The album's
bathe
called
in
The
the
Home
sweat of
Inside
Wonder
My
Years.
Head, and I've always been a sucker for really good lyrics. And while this band,
Real Friends,
a lot of their
where are they
sound
from?
is
What's
like the
their-
pretty much
what's their-
samey
what are they
pop
about?
punk sound. I really like a lot of their lyrics, where
Oh, yeah.
some of it's a bit whiny, but then some of it's really like, especially on this album, like it's talking about how you know being content with your life and finding your place in the world. I'm like, I like that. I like some good lyrical content, and well, the album title, Home Inside My Head, it's part of a lyric, and the lyric is, the home inside my head has a bed for me. I'm like, oh, I get it. I get
like
it.
that. Be content.
Yeah,
Like, hey,
and, like
man,
he has some really good melodies,
it.
and
fucking get
pop
used to
punk
it.
music. It's pop punk. I don't know what else to say. It's like there's not much you can say about it if it's very generic pop punk in a way. But nah,
That's
good
all right.
lyrics.
That's all
good
right.
lyrics. Oh, I think my favorite song's called
Yeah.
Mokena. I think it's like a chick's name. Like, yeah,
Mm.
it's kind of like the slower one, but it's not like full
Alright.
acoustic, like
Got a song
real
you'd recommend
stereotypical
off
pop
the album?
punk. But
What,
it's
favorite song?
got some slow guitars, and it builds up, and it's got some nice chords, and it
Okay.
really gives
Okay.
because when you strip a song down a bit, it gives the vocalist more room to be flamboyant or whatever. It's one of those songs where the vocals really carry the song a lot more than the rhythm of it. So yeah, I really like that. I really like the stripped back, just one electric guitar and the build. Yeah, great song.
Mm.
Anyway, what's your number 9?
Oh, yeah. Neat. All right, number 9 for me
Show
is
me these
again deviating a little bit from what I'd usually pick. It's up until like 7, I think, that we're a bit deviating. Number 9 is "The Shape" by Dance with the Dead. Now, Brett,
Count me in.
you liked Stranger Things.
Yeah. Okay.
What if there was an album that was like the Stranger Things soundtrack, but dancier? Yeah, Dance with the Dead. Like, it probably isn't their best album, but they've kind of plateaued where like every album is like a similar kind of quality. So you're listening to it, it's like, this is more of the good stuff. Like, you can listen to each album back to back and go like, this is all good. I like all
I
of this.
get that.
So
I like that sometimes.
it's
but
kind of like
other
that. So if you don't
times I
like
It depends
to see
which
an
band
artist
it is
have,
and how
or if they're
good
kind of
it
like
is.
the
Like, if you have
AC/DC of post-new synthwave music, where you get what you expect from them.
Yeah.
If it's something that like I don't care that much for, where it's just like, when I feel in the mood for it, I want to get this thing, then you're like, yeah. So like that's how I feel. Like this, I feel the same way about Dance with the Dead that I do about AC/DC. When I feel like being like, I'm fucking Australian, give me some
there
AC/DC,
you
then
go.
whatever album it is, I'll put it on like,
No, it's
yeah,
sometimes real good to have,
AC/DC.
you know,
That's
just
how I
one
feel about Dance with
sound
the Dead.
that,
I'm like,
like,
I feel like having
something
an
moves that
80s
no matter what you
groove
put on.
and having a
Like, one
dance
of the
off,
bands that's
then
further
Dance
on
with
my
the Dead.
list
Doesn't matter what album it is.
very
It's all
much
good.
like
It's all
that.
good stuff.
With most of their stuff.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do now as well. Give a song from the
Yeah.
albums. Yeah.
Let me just bring up something real quick, and I'm picking a song off the
Screams and
album.
Whispers. Nice. Oh, I love guitar solos.
I just might as well, Screams and Whispers, I think, is a song I'd recommend. Yeah, I'd recommend
well,
that.
badass
So
guitar.
if you like guitar solos, we've got a lot of that as well.
Segues.
So it's like
Number
80s
eight on my
kind of
list
like
is Pierce the Veil
eerie
with
kind of
their
John
album
Carpenter, Stranger
Misadventures.
Things synth. mixed
And
with
it took them a long
some
time to
badass
release
guitar
this. And one of
shit.
the things that
So,
I have loved
you
about this
like it.
band since I've discovered them is their musicianship.
Oh,
Their
segue.
vocalist,
Nice.
yeah, I really like his vocals, but it's to me the standout of this band
Oh,
is
yeah.
the guitarists. 'Cause it's one of the ones where sometimes they kind of do like a dual lead thing. They have no rhythm, and both the lead guitars will be doing like diddle, 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 diddle. I guess Iron Maiden, if it was more like post-hardcore, you know, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, and like sometimes
So
they'll
some Iron
definitely
Maiden
have
shit.
some rhythms and whatever. Well, a lot of
An
the time,
evolution
really,
of
but
it.
Sometimes when they really get into doing some dual lead guitar stuff, I freaking love it.
Yeah,
And
so an
the
evolution
solos
of
they
that Maiden
have
kind
just
of dual guitaring kind of
flow
spirit.
through me. Yeah, and why I love this band. This band is like the vocalist can be take it or leave it for a lot of people. Like he's one of the ones where he has a really high pitched voice. Like it's actually a funny story that he said once in an interview I watched. The vocalist from Twisted Sister was at one of their shows because his daughter's a real big fan. And the vocalist from Twisted Sister said to him, "Man, back in my day, I was the guy who was known for having the high voice, but you just blew me out of the water." And he was like, "You know what? That's probably the highlight of my career so far." I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
D. Schneider, but it's not Rob Schneider. That's Adam Sandler's friend. Yes.
That'd be mine too. My fucking Rob Schneider is...
Yeah.
Is it Rob Schneider? I
And
can't. I
another.
think that's his name. D. Snyder. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Rob Schneider.
Well, when you get complimented by D. Snyder,
That's
so.
Adam Sandler's
And also
friend.
the drummer. This band has a really
The
good
one who only
drummer.
has a career because Adam
'Cause
Sandler said,
he does
"I
a lot of
like you,
punk rock
you weird
drum
fuck.
Stuff sometimes.
I'm gonna
He'll
make
do
a
lot of
movie."
those,
Yeah,
hi-hat
D.
snare
Snyder is
beats.
fucking... He's a boss ass motherfucker.
Yeah, I love me a hi-hat snare punk beat. And everyone who knows punk rock now has... Yeah, everyone who knows punk rock knows what I'm talking about when I say a punk rock hi-hat snare beat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and the song I'd recommend on this album would be...
Booty Camp?
Today I Saw the Whole World. It just starts off right out of the gate. It just goes hard in your face, and just the guitar kind of just rolls along with the bass drum. It's weird to say, but the bass drums are going like boom, 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 and the lead guitar's going like I can't say it out loud, but it goes right out of the gate and just all the instruments just flow into each other so well. And when all the instruments work off of each other and work with each other, I just love that in a song. Yeah, it's my number 8. Don't know this.
All right, nice. Number burp is... Number 8 is We Got It From Here from A Tribe Called Quest. Okay, so they are a rap group from New York. One of their members, Five Dog, he died this year. So this is like their last album ever as a group. I think they'll probably continue to make music as individual solo artists because they're it's rappers, so they can all just go off and do their own thing. But yeah, I think this is the last one of them as a group.
Really,
and, it is.
Yeah, okay.
It's like if you like that kind of old school, East Coast kind of rap stuff. It's that. It's yeah. So like if you like, it's a bunch of old men rapping. It's good. I don't know what to say, but like it's timely. They talk shit about Trump, like the lead single. What's it called? We the People. I think the chorus for it is, "All you black folks, you must go. All you poor folks, you must go. All you Mexicans, you must go. Or Muslims and gays, boy, relevant. We hate your ways." And it's basically like,
what's the song you'd
all from
recommend
like
from
this
them?
point of
Is that
view
one?
of like, it's fucking, we're all fucked. This is what these people want to do to us. They're gonna chuck us all out. So, yeah. Yeah, We the People. That's the one
I
I'd
think
probably
misconception
recommend.
is you have to have a lot going on for a song to be good. You don't. You can have a song
Good
that is
beat,
just fucking power
too.
chords
Very
and
kind of
guitar, and
minimalistic,
it can be
and
a
then it's just kind of
classic
one thing. It's
song.
like duh, 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 duh. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Don't
No.
You don't have to be complex. Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah.
As long as
Anyway,
you've
my
got
number
something in there
7
that's like just
is
kind
A
of
Day to
got it,
Remember's Bad
then
Vibrations.
yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. As long as you've got it.
See, I feel like I wanted this album to be higher on my list. I really did.
Mm.
But I
Yeah.
felt so misled by this album that it left a bad taste in my mouth.
Oh.
Paranoia. Yeah. Well, basically they released Paranoia, which is that, and I was like, yes, and they released Bad Vibrations as a song, and it was like
Yeah,
that again. I was
like
oh my
that
God,
single
I'm so
you
prepared for a
showed
full,
me
heavy
earlier on in the
Eminem
year,
album.
Paranoid.
But then it
Yeah, I
came
was
out,
prepared for an album of that.
that.
I
Those were
was
the
I was
only
so on
two
board for
real
that.
heavy songs on it. And I felt so misled with the promotion of the album. Like, and I still really liked the album because the rest of it was just classic A Day to Remember stuff with,
And
lots
then
of
it
really cool rhythms,
wasn't
and he's
that.
got a great voice. I've
And-
always loved his voice. So, that's the reason I still like the album. I'm still so disappointed that it wasn't the full heavy album, Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There was another
I'd say
album that I think
Paranoia,
is on
but
my list that was
It's got a classic
kind of like that, but
the
still
reason I told
worked.
Aiden to listen to it in the
So,
first place,
I think
it's got a
you might know
real
what that
punk
is,
rock
but-
drums to it, and
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty much
But,
a punk rock song.
yeah,
It's
all
like,
right, so
it basically
Paranoia
it basically
be your
starts
favorite
off.
track, or would you got no- yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much a punk rock song.
It does.
Yeah, I just wish the whole album was like that.
It pretty much is.
Even
I
though
mean,
I wish there was other songs I released first, so we didn't get misled into thinking it was a full heavy album.
it's pretty much a punk rock song.
But there's
Like,
some great songs.
I listened to that and was like, that's punk rock, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Because actually that's what most of their albums have been. There's been a bit of heavy and then a lot of, their normal stuff.
Mm.
Anyway.
Yeah, like,
that's my number
release,
7.
like-
What's yours?
Like a heavy one and a soft one to make people be aware, like, oh, okay, so there's going to be a bit of this and that. Mm. So yeah, number 7, I picked Nonagon Infinity by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard because, hey, it's an album that never ends, so that's pretty fucking impressive. And number 2, it pissed off the Amity Affliction, which bumps you up in my book.
Yeah, the whole Aria controversy.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see the post that 12-Foot Ninja made about it? And they're like, yeah, guys, we really don't give a shit. Stop bringing us in other people's drama.
They would not give a fuck. Like, hey, we had a good year. We're happy to be nominated. We didn't ask to be
Yeah,
nominated. We didn't really
I
care
love
if
them
we
because they were
won.
so cute. They're like, you know what, guys, we're just happy to be here.
It's like, we didn't expect to get nominated. We're fucking 12-Foot Ninja. Who gives a fuck about us? But hey,
They're a
cool.
fun band.
They're a fun band. I don't have any begrudgments against 12-Foot Ninja, but I don't see them going like, man, we've got to get fucking nominated for an ARIA this year. I swear to God. Like,
Yeah.
no, they're just like,
Amity Affliction was
we
so
need to raise $30,000 to make a kick-ass music video. That's what 12-Foot Ninja are doing.
Oh, nah. Amity Affliction were just so entitled about it. They thought they had it in the bag, and then they didn't, and they got butthurt about it. I'm like, make a good album.
Good. They deserve
You
it.
used to
They
make
deserve
good
to be
albums, but
butthurt.
you haven't made a really good album since Youngbloods.
Mm-hmm. All right, what is next one on your list? What is
And,
6?
Where are we up to? 6. 6.
Okay.
I made a band called Era, or is it Era? I never know how to pronounce it. It's
IRA? Or...
ERRA.
Ooh.
It's the Egyptian god of war. That's not what the album is, but what they're named after.
I have no idea what that is, no.
Yeah. Well, the album is called Drift. Now, I've been a big fan of this band for a long time. They still never come to Australia. Not the point. No, they're kind of like progressive metalcore, I guess you'd say. But they're metalcore, but they got lots of it's kind of progressive time signatures and lots of really cool guitar stuff going on. And like this new album, they got a different screamer.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I wasn't sure how to feel about
Are they
it.
dual vocalist situation? Or?
Yeah, they got a screamer, which is their main vocalist, and they have one of the guitarists who sings.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, very that. But no, I love this band. Love how well the vocals flow with the rhythm of the song. Because I feel like there's two kinds of screamers. There's the kind of screamer who just kind of screams over the top of music that other people write. And there's the type of screamer where you can tell that he probably plays another instrument because he has a really good understanding of rhythm and timing. And you can just tell that he's really written it with the music, so it flows together so much more. It doesn't just feel like it just sits on top of it. It goes with it. It's what I've always loved about this band. And they've just continued
Your
to
Randy
do this.
Blythes of the world.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. He's a musician, understands rhythm and flow. So, and like, you know, I was nervous when they announced they were changing screamers because I'm like, no, that's why I love this guy. That's why I love this band. But, you know, the new screamer they got nails the exact same way.
He gets it.
He gets it.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, still, none of their albums is ever going to be as good as their first album, but still great. Every band on my list so far has been a band where I like this album, but I like the last one better. Yeah,
Well, that goes for this next one for me. This is Untitled Unmastered from Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, yeah.
Even this guy's B-sides are fucking bangers.
I
They're all, well, they're not.
I should
I
have.
would say bangers, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I should have spun that more than I did this year. Like, I've
It's-
listened to it and
there's-
I've enjoyed it, but I haven't spun it enough to.
It wasn't
Warranted.
something I listened to the most this year, I'd say. But when I was listening to it, I'm like, this is all still good.
Yeah.
I don't like it as much as To Pimp a Butterfly, but this is like a good kind of like
Well, basically,
epilogue. I'd
basically
say.
for 90% of my list, the order that I put it in was I thought, how much have I listened to each of these albums? So most of these albums, if they're further on the list, means I've listened to them the most. That's why I did it at least.
That pretty much goes for these.
Yeah, like there's one album that's higher up that is not the most listened to, mainly because it's a more recent one. But not the point. Anyway, we're talking about yours. Talk about your number 6.
That's pretty much all I have to say about it. I think my favorite is. It's hard to remember the titles of these tracks because they're all like dates.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't say my favorite on Era's album.
What was your
listen
favorite?
to Hourglass. Hourglass is great.
Hourglass. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Whichever the one that goes like.
Like what track
Blue
number is
Faces.
it? Which track
It's
on the
like
album?
8, I think.
There you go. Track number 8.
Yeah, the one that's talking about blue faces. That's the one I'd say is probably my favorite.
There you go. Blue Face.
Or the one that's real
Dubba-dee,
jazzy.
dubba-die. Oh, I
Like
love
the
jazz.
jazziest of them.
I love the jazzy one. I think my favorite Kendrick song is I, because I just love that, you know, jazzy-ish guitar it has going. I love the album version. The album version is so good.
Oh, that's that little like the poem thing at the end. Ooh.
But yeah, well, freestyle, I
Good.
think you'd call it. It's like,
call it.
Anyway, let's want to move through to our number 5s.
Yeah, number 5.
Okay, well, with this one, this is kind of a surprise for me because I'd never really listened to a lot of this band before this year, and I still haven't really gotten into their old stuff, but this album is great. It is Luca Brasi, an Australian band,
Oh yeah.
and the album is If This Is All We're Going to Be, which also takes out the title for longest album title on my list.
They're from Tasmania?
Yeah,
are
they're
they?
Tassie
Yeah.
Boys.
Tassie Boys.
Nah, this is like just a great like punk rock album.
No,
and
Luca Brasi are a great band.
Yeah. No, because I saw them live last year. They were supporting You Me at 6. And I looked,
Oh, yeah.
And when I was watching them live, I'm like, you know what, these guys are kind of cool. I'm going to check these guys out. But I kind of didn't. But then when, you know, the promotion for this album was happening, I thought, oh, yeah, I'll listen to them. I saw them live. And I really got into it. And I've really gotten into this album this year. It's a great album. So if you like a bit of
nice.
punk rock and a bit of Aussie music, and I was saying this to someone the other day, I think one of the reasons I really love these guys is when a lot of singers sing, they'll just kind of take on an American accent no matter where they're from, you know?
Yeah.
This guy, you can 100% hear his Aussie accent as he sings.
I think that's why I like the Smooth Street Band so much. Is
Yeah.
that like Will Wagner is like unapologetically like sounds Australian.
Yeah, well, that's the same with this guy. Like, he doesn't have an American accent when he sings. You can definitely listen to him be like, that's an Australian accent in your singing. It's great. It's great.
It's definitely like something that's really like going well. I feel like
Yeah.
it's probably like people really like the Aussie hip hop. They're like, oh, you could tell they're Australian. That's good. But for me, that's like Australian punk music. That's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
Like, it's very Australian.
Yeah,
You
I feel
can
like
hear
I'll
it very
probably get
clearly.
into more Australian punk through Luca Brasi because I love this album. I love hearing the Australian accent in some punk rock.
And you don't get it in a lot of like the other genres, especially our pop stuff. Like was it Troye Sivan? Is he Australian?
Yeah, he is.
You can't tell that he's
No.
Australian, can you? No, see that I can't get behind that. It's like, wait, I think that's why Americans can get behind that. It's like, well, I don't know, he's Australian. He could be from anywhere, and they can all get behind that. But for me, it's like, gotta sound like where you're from, represent.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I love these guys. What's
Don't
your
try
number?
and hide who you are.
Yeah.
Get
What's
into
your
it,
number
yeah.
5? What's your number?
My number 5 is.
Oh, check out
pretty much-
anything near Conviction.
Okay.
Guys.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same intro you gave for it. It's like something I hadn't listened to them a lot before this year, but I checked out this album and pretty much really dug it. It is Low Teens from Every Time I Die.
Oh, yeah. I've been listening to a little bit of them. Not as much as you, but a little bit of them I've been listening to because we're seeing them.
Yeah. That's pretty much why I got into it. It was like, oh, they're supporting Let Live and we have tickets to see them. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I better listen to them, see what I think. And I like them. And I like this album.
Yeah, and you picked up on them real quickly.
Oh, yeah, because the first song I heard was the first single from this album. And
Is that the
it
one with the
kicks-
film clip when they're at a big house party?
No, that's from another one. This is The
okay.
Coin Has a Say. That's the
Oh,
first
yeah.
one I heard. And, it kicks me, you're right in the face straight away. And you're like, either you're going to be like, I'm on board for this, or you're going to be like, this is awful. Please stop kicking me in the face. But
I feel like they have a combination of like that southern hardcore sound and like a punk rock sound.
that's definitely what it is. It has a very kind of like deep fried guitar tone to it. I feel like that's the only way I can like describe it, where like it sounds crunchy and meaty and you're like, ooh, yeah. And then the singer, like every now and then he'll get into a kind of a not quite a country, but like a Americana kind of style,
Yeah. See, that's
but with like
that's
some
the-
grit to it.
Yeah, that's like the southern hardcore part of it. Southern hardcore is very much a combination of like kind of like country music and hardcore, which is real weird.
And you wouldn't think it would work, but it
Kind of does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's I'd call it southern hardcore. That's what I'd call it.
Yeah.
Good name for
And,
it. The
song?
Coin As a Say.
When as I say,
First song I heard from them kicked me in the face, and I enjoyed it. So
nice.
yeah,
Okay, my number 4. I think I only got into them this year. One of the most recent heavy bands I've listened to, because not many new heavy bands are around that I like. It's a thing.
Yeah,
it's sad, but it's a
it's-
thing.
it's been like that.
Yeah, they're called Silent Planet, and the album is Everything Was Sound. Now,
Ooh, ominous.
ominous, yeah. Well, a lot of their music kind of is a bit ominous. It's a perfect word to describe it, really. And they're a band. They use a lot of their lyrics to talk about real things, and they are religious. They do it in a religious sense, but I could try to ignore that.
Yeah.
Like, they're good religious. They're not care if you're religious or not religious. I'm like, okay, I can go with that. No, they have a song called Nervoso where they talk about anorexia. They have a song called Panic Room where it's all about, people coming back from war with PTSD. And they have a song called No Place to Breathe, which is pretty much all about like Black Lives Matter stuff with, police killing the, black people in America, which is
Hey, man.
wrong.
I'm a fan of anyone who's woke. Stay woke.
Yeah, this vocalist is woke as fuck, and he's got such an unique vocal style, which is why I really like it. Like, he's probably doing it wrong, and he's probably going to destroy his throat because like metalcore. But anyway, I like it for now. Let's see how long he has a voice. Yeah,
Favorite song on the album?
my favorite song is probably "No Place to Breathe." It's
Okay. Yeah.
and just that bridge where it's like the lyrics go like what do the lyrics go? They're like they've already once asked a child in front of a smoking gun, and as he goes really high with his voice, and the guitar goes like it's it just gets me
Ooh.
every time. Sometimes just
Cool.
one line in a song that just gets you every time. Yeah, it's that. It gets me every
All right.
time.
This one, I deliberated hard between 3 and 4.
Oh
but,
man, I deliberated so hard between 3 and 4 as well. 3 and 4
Yeah.
was the hardest for me.
but I feel like I I liked more songs from the one that ended up in number 3.
Yeah.
Which I didn't expect that at the start of the year. At the start of the year, I thought this might even be my number 1, but it got beat by three albums.
Yeah?
Especially one that I did not expect to be on here. So this is If I'm the Devil by Let Live.
Oh, I thought you might have, I was thinking you might have Let Live's If I'm the Devil down a bit further.
Yeah. See, I love Let Live, and I cannot wait to see him next week. Boy, am I excited.
Yeah. Oh, one of our favorite bands, both of us, so.
But I don't think I enjoyed this album as much as I enjoyed the Black is Beautiful.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, but that being said, Good Morning America may be one of my favorite songs from them.
Yeah.
It's a good as fuck song, and I was hoping for more of that style, because that was very kind of like, this is the new Rage Against the Machine. This is gonna fucking
Well,
this is gonna be it.
I think they had a similar thing that A Day to Remember did with misleading pre-album marketing, because they had that and they had
one I was talking about
and they had another offensive song, which is very much the same thing.
But that being said, the rest of it was very kind of like Michael Jackson inspired.
Yeah, well,
especially Reluctantly Dead feels like a rockier Michael Jackson kind of song. So not what I expected initially from this band, but
definitely not bad.
No, I liked it. I was hoping for more of that kind of. I was hoping this would be the new Rage Against the Machine, kind of like where this is like, it's talking about current events and it's woke and it's angry. And but it was just more kind of like reflective, and it's like, okay, well, this is still good, but
they did have quite a few like real.
I wanted
good.
to flip over a car, and I'm sitting here going like, oh man, that's deep. Like
they did have a couple
really
of real.
Looking forward to.
There was a
flipping
couple
over that car.
There was some real good energetic songs. Like
there was some.
I think there was 4 real good energetic songs. It was "Good Morning America," another offensive song, "A Week Ago," and "Elephant."
Yeah,
that riff in "A Week Ago" just gets me every time.
It's a good riff. It reminds me a lot of Billy Talent. That riff.
I feel that. Yeah. Anyway, my number 3. This is taking so long. It's going to be a long episode. Get over it, guys.
Yeah, we're not even at TV shows.
Keep in mind, I think like 10 minutes of this runtime have been technical difficulties at least.
That's true, but still.
Anyway, number 3 is probably the one that kind of looks like it doesn't fit on this list. You probably know what it is. Childish Gambino, "Awaken My Love."
Oh, so that's where that ended up on your list. Okay.
Okay. Is it on your list?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. No, I thought this album was great. It's not what I expected, because his previous albums have been hip hop, and this I don't know what to call this, but it's not hip hop.
Fuck music.
Yeah.
This is music one fucks to.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, no, it was great. Like, when Me and Your Mama came out, I was just like, oh my God, this is great. I can't wait to see all the classic Gambino fans get real angry about it.
And there were a few, but I think there were more people who were like, getting that head bob going, getting that shoulder popping, getting that daddy stank face on.
Yeah. Oh, he's just so good. And he got really experimental on it. And that's what I really love about it. And like songs like California, which I already said before, where he got really experimental. He had a fucking blow jug in that song. And
that's pretty crazy.
And Stand Tall just gets me every time. Yeah.
Stand Tall is good. Actually, no. Or is it? I don't know. Is it on my list? I
don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, no. It's a great album. It's kind of R&B. It's kind of hip hop. It's kind of experimental. So it is a great album. If you love Donald Glover, if you love Childish Gambino, check it out. My favorite song is definitely Redbone. What's your number 3, Aiden?
My number 3, which start of the year, if you told me, hey man, this would be your number 3, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Ain't no goddamn way I'm gonna enjoy an album from those guys that much again. It is Hardwired to Self-Destruct by Metallica.
Okay. Wow.
I did not expect to enjoy this album that much, but
you did.
Yeah.
You did.
I did. It's probably up this high because of Spit Out the Bone, which is the final song on the album. That is, look, it's not the most technical thrash song I've ever heard. It's probably not the best written thrash song I've ever heard. But fuck, is it fun? Like that's something that Metallica gets right, well, like a lot of other metal bands don't. Well, like they're thinking it's like, oh, we could make the fucking sickest, fucking craziest riff out there, and it's technically you're like, yeah, that's pretty good, but it doesn't flow and hit you with like, yeah, that's a song. Fuck yeah, like Metallica on this album for the most part. I'm not saying every song on this album is great, but they get it. Like especially things like Hardwired, Moth into Flame, Atlas Rise, Spit Out the Bone, and even I'd say. Man Unkind, that they got some riffs that just hit you and like, that's a fucking sick riff right there.
Yeah,
I dig it. Yeah, so it's not the most technical best metal out there, and it's very
doesn't have to be.
doesn't have to be, but it's just good. It's fun, and there's some songs on there that are a bit samey that I thought were kind of like but I've listened through it all a couple of times. And that's not something I can say for a lot of metal albums this year. So, yeah, number 3. I really enjoyed a lot of the songs on this album.
There you go. What's the one you'd recommend? Like the last one?
Oh, yeah, Spit Out the Bone. Fuck, it's fucking killer tune.
I almost said Spit It Out. Like, no, that's Slipknot.
No, it's good. Like, that's...
So we're getting to the...
I haven't enjoyed a thrash song that much in years.
So we're getting to the business end of our lists now.
All right, yeah.
My number 2, drum roll. I think 1 and 2, I'll put drum rolls on, not the rest.
Yeah. The number 2 album of the year for Brett Page is...
It's a band called Against the Current. You know my wife? My wife? The one.
I do know your wife.
Yeah, it's them. Their first actual full-length album in our bones.
Their first album. You've been stalking people without an album. Jesus,
They released like 2 EPs, and cause
you've been stalking someone with an EP. Jesus.
No, they were big on YouTube before this. They're one of the ones they released like covers on YouTube that got millions of views.
You've been stalking someone who did cover songs on YouTube. Jeez.
Look, I'm not a perfect person. No, this album was great. It's just I love her so much.
Yeah. Gee, I can't tell.
I'm not going to say much about it. It's like it's pop punk with a female vocalist. That's all you need to know.
All right. Yeah. Do you want me to do what favorite song of the album? What did you enjoy?
Runaway. They had some real good synth stuff in that, and she had some real good melodies in it.
Nice.
And it's kind of stalkerish, which I like.
Okay.
Well,
my number 2. Drum roll, please.
I don't know why I'm doing that when I'm going to edit it in.
Yeah. My number 2 album for 2016. In by a Hair, by being released on Christmas Day. It is Run the Jewels free.
Ooh.
From Run the Jewels.
Yeah.
Banger after banger after banger after banger. So good.
You love that album.
Made my Christmas. Christmas. I love it so much.
I feel like I really need to start listening to Run the Jewels because of how much you love them. Like you don't lead me astray often, so I need to take your recommendation
like
on that.
They're good. Like this is, yeah. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as Run the Jewels 2. I think Run the Jewels 2 is still their best album, but this is a close second. This is so many good songs. It starts off a little slow, and it's a bit like, oh, okay, this is a bit ooh. But then, bam, second song, banger. Third song, banger. Fourth song, banger. And it just keeps going. And it's woke as fuck, and it's so good. And Killer Mike is amazing. LP, I've grown to love him. I didn't quite like his rapping early on, but the longer I've listened to it, I'm like, it is the perfect complement to Killer Mike's more gruff style. I love it. I love it so much. Song I'd recommend off the album. All the singles are good, but I think something that's more of a kind of a I wouldn't expect to like so much, but I really like it is Ticketron. it hits you in a way you don't quite expect, and it's probably my favorite LP song from Run the Jewels. It's kind of very kind of heavy on him. Probably my favorite thing that he's done ever in like any of their songs. But the one that like I'd recommend for people to like get in on is Talk to Me. That's like, oh yeah, fucking listen to that, and it's like either you'll like that and love Run the Jewels, or you'll be like and then just like fuck off. So it's easy for you to tell after that one.
Nice. I need to listen to them. I need to get into them more.
They are great, and if they ever come to Australia, we're seeing them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to go to a rap show. I've never been to a rap show.
Me too. Like I saw Bliss and Essa at Big Day Out for like a couple of seconds, and I thought that doesn't really count. It's Big Day Out. People are going from seeing Rammstein to Bliss and Essa, so it's fucking everybody. I've never been to like a proper rap show. I would like to go. I want to know what the vibe is, because I don't know what people do at a rap show.
Yeah, no,
is there a mosh pit? Do people punch each other in the face? I don't know.
Am I too white for it? How many white guys is there?
It's Australia. It's probably going to be all white people.
Oh, true.
And one or two are like African people and Aboriginal people standing in the back. I'm like, fucking just play the songs already.
Yeah. Anyway, my number one.
All right, yeah.
Small drum roll. No surprise. It's Let Live.
Yeah.
yeah. No surprise.
I was like, oh yeah, it hasn't been on here yet. Okay, it must be number one. All right.
No, I'm just like, I didn't expect it to be number one when it came out, because I'm like, this is a great album. It's not as great as Black is Beautiful, but I don't know. I feel, as I said, a lot of my albums this year have been ones that are like, aren't as good as last year's albums, but it was a great album. Like we've already said as much as we can about it when you did it. I really love all the energetic songs so much that it make me want to flip cars and burn the things and whatever. But then there's also like the slow ones which get really deep, and Jason really gets to show off his clean vocals on a lot of those as well.
I do really like Reluctantly Dead. It is.
Yeah.
That is that is like a proper ballad.
I love Copper Colored Quiet. The drums in Copper Colored Quiet especially.
And the title track is pretty good as well. It's got kind of a quieter start, and it's got very ominous.
Yeah.
I like it.
Nah, I think purely because of the amount I've listened to it, because I have the signed copy of this CD, and since I got it, it's pretty much been in the CD player of my car. It hasn't left it.
Nice.
So, yeah. Let Live, Find the Devil. What's your number one? I'm really interested to hear. What's your number one?
My number one album for 2016 is Peanut Butter Chocolate Cake Kool-Aid. Oh, it is Awaken My Love by Childish Gambino.
Sorry.
It is an album full of funky ass fuck jams.
I didn't think this would be your number one. Okay.
Oh boy, I think it's probably just the one that I listen to the most. I would just sit there at like night and put it on and be like, yeah.
It's chill, but it's funky, and at the same time,
it became like, from like the day it was released to pretty much now, anytime I'm like hanging out with people and we're just kind of sitting around watching.
It's so chill. It's
stuff
so chill.
like it'll go on and like that's that background music. I'm like, yeah, that's chill.
It's a soundtrack to life album. That's what it is. It's a soundtrack to life.
It is an album full of goddamn fuck jams. So good. Oh, I love it. It's a good album.
Right. Yeah.
Number one.
Fantastic.
Easily.
Album. Love it. Anyway, that's our top 10 albums. That's probably about 45 minutes worth, so.
Yeah. Any special mentions you want to do before we move on?
I can't think of any. I feel like we won't take a song on TV shows and movies, because most of them we've already talked about in full episodes we've done on them.
Probably, yeah.
So I feel like we won't take as long on those.
I think I'll just give a quick special mention to David Bowie's Black Star. I didn't listen to it in full, so that's probably why it's not on this list. I listened to 2 of the songs on it, and it's real good, but I didn't listen to the full album, so I can't, in good conscience, put it on my list.
I'll also throw one out there, an honorable mention. Polaris band from Sydney, they released an EP, probably why it's not on the list, but yeah, an EP called Regress. Really good. Probably the second actual heavy band I've discovered this year that I've really loved. So, yeah, they're great.
Neat. All right, let me pull up my list.
What are we doing? TV shows or movies?
TV shows. We'll save movies for last.
Anyway, well, I've got 16, so I want to just rattle through 16 to 10.
Okay.
And basically, I just put all the TV shows I watched on it. So this is one that I really did not want on my list at all this year, but I thought just to round it out and put every show I've watched on. 16 is The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how much I didn't like.
Well,
this
as long as
season.
it's not in the top 10, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, well, this is just all the shows I've watched this year.
All right, yeah.
So 16, The Walking Dead. 15, The OA, one I recently watched. It was really, really good and maybe would have made my top 10 if it wasn't for that last episode.
Okay.
The 100, good show, just didn't make the cut. Legends of Tomorrow is 13, same thing, good show, just didn't make the cut. 12, Arrow.
Season 2 or Season 1?
Just all the episodes that were on this year.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Then 12, Arrow, same deal, good show, didn't make the cut. And 11, Flash, good show, just didn't make the cut.
Okay, all right. Do you want me to do
Want
my
to rattle
16 to
through
11? All right, yeah.
Rattle through yours.
All right. 16, Voltron. It was good, but I kind of forgot about it for most of the year until I was making this list, so it doesn't make the
Is it
cut.
just like a fun time in the moment type show?
It's a fun time in the moment, yeah. I'd recommend watching it because it's a fun time, but, it wasn't as good as the rest of these. The Flash, Season 3, Legends of Tomorrow, Season 2, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Ghost Rider, Arrow, first half of Season 5, not tail end of Season 4. I wanted to specify that. I think that's why I specified the others. I was like, not that shit. The good one. And 11, Black Mirror.
Oh, Black Mirror's only there for you, okay.
Yeah. Only because the rest of these I feel like were just
Hold on
that
for a
good,
second, you've got Robot.
Am I still going?
Yeah.
Like I'm still recording here.
You've got
Okay.
Yeah, you've got robot voice going on, so it's just like connection
Ooh.
issues. I'll hang up and call back. That fixes it all the time.
All right. And I sing the theme tune, I make the theme tune. A PCMR podcast, I do.
Okay, back. Talk for
Okay.
me.
All right.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put
Ready
a
to go?
marker in. Yep, let's go. Back into it. Yeah, okay.
Alrighty. Why don't you give us? What was your number 10, bro?
No, you go first. I went first last time.
All right. My number 10 is Luke Cage.
Oh,
Marvel's Netflix Luke Cage. It was good, but it wasn't as good as the rest of these shows. But I still enjoyed it quite a bit. Mike Colter is a tall glass of chocolate. It was amazing. Had a lot of good things in the show, but also I didn't quite enjoy the second half of the show as much as I enjoyed that first half.
Is it after like what happened in episode 7? No spoilers.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can listen to our full review for more in-depth opinion of why I liked and didn't like the show. But that's it gets to be on the list, but it doesn't get to be high up on the list.
Yeah. Well, my number 10 was American Horror Story. Now, this season, they got really creative, which I liked. Like, I didn't like that they kind of still stuck with doing supernatural stuff. I mean, there's enough, variety in the horror genre that you don't have to keep doing that, but they do. But they changed it up by the first half, so the first 5 episodes of the season, they made it. It was like a true crime show where they had like the real people. They're not real people, but real people telling their story. Then they
Quotation marks, real people.
Yeah, then they had the reenactments where they'd have actors reenacting their story. Then the second half of the season, it was a different show called Return to Roanoke, which, and like, may I say, they got really like up themselves about it. Like in season 6, they were saying, My Roanoke Nightmare was one of the most popular TV shows of all the time. It got better ratings than Game of Thrones. I'm like, yeah, keep dreaming. Yeah, like you really
got
think
better rating that Game of Thrones. Like, come on, American Horror Story.
like, come on. You really.
It would have been, but I feel like the joke would have been better. It's like, it almost got as good ratings as Game of Thrones. Like, all right, that I could maybe believe is like, that's a clever joke. It's like, we were almost as good as Game of Thrones, so that's still pretty good. It's like, That's a funny joke. Saying you're better than Game of Thrones is being an arrogant fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
think they were doing it as a bit of a joke, but at the same time, yeah. So, the second half of it was Return to Roanoke, where they got all the actual people who were there and all the reenactment actors to go and spend a couple of days in the house again. I don't know why they'd go back there with all the shit that happened to them. But I don't know. It was really creative how they did it, and I enjoyed it. And it got really fucked up this season.
It sounds
Like
interesting.
more fucked up than it's been in a while.
Ooh.
Yeah. But it got real fucked up this season. Like, look away from the screen, fucked up points.
All right. You want to do...
Okay.
Number 9 is my boy Daredevil.
Your boy Daredevil.
Yeah, it's a number 9.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I love Daredevil. That's why he's in the top 10. I love him. It's my boy. But there was just better shows this year than that. I still enjoy it. I can't wait for season 3. I can't wait for Defenders. I love these boys.
You're making me doubt my list. Did I do it wrong? No.
No. Hey, it's your opinion. This isn't factual. None of these is
Yeah,
like...
true.
Yeah, this is just like my opinion of like, I really enjoyed... I think it's the same thing where like, I didn't have as big a problem as other people did with like the second half of Daredevil. Other people were like, it's bullshit. I'm like, no, I enjoyed the whole season. I had a good time the whole way through. But I did enjoy the first half, which was more Punisher focused, than I did the second half, which was more the Hand focused. But still good season. I still enjoyed it a lot. John Bernthal is an amazing Punisher, and I cannot wait to see his Punisher
so much
series.
better than he was in The Walking Dead.
So much better.
Yeah, not that he was bad in it.
But I think he has a better character to work with here.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I mean,
Anyway.
Shane's fine, but
Yeah.
Frank Castle.
Frank Castle. Yeah. My number 9, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just, as everyone has said, Ghost Rider just put new life into this show.
It was so good
this
season. Yeah.
Ghost Rider was just... That's all I have to say about it. Just Ghost Rider made the show great. Like, they're already all characters that I care about, and just putting in this awesome character of Ghost Rider has made it even better. So,
Yeah.
all I have to say on that.
It breathed new life in a show that I feel like... I'm hoping it brought in new people. Like, that was what I was more excited about for Ghost Rider. It's like, the
bring
show's
in more
already
people.
good, but having Ghost Rider there is going to bring in more people. It's going to convince people like, no, the show's good. Like, come back. Like, we're having a good time over here. Like, it's not what you remember. The first season, we'll pay that first half of the first season before Winter Soldier happened.
It'll always be there. It'll always be there.
But I feel like the context of what happened in the second half of the first season doesn't quite make up for it, but a few character moments here and there makes it more interesting. If I was to ever do a rewatch, I'd be like, oh,
yeah.
You're a conniving son of a bitch, Grant Ward.
Yeah. It's also... Nah, anyway, let's move on. So, what's your number 8?
My number... Oh, did you say your number 8 or...
No, well, you're going first this time, remember?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we were just talking about your thing. Fuck.
Yeah.
Because I've also got it on my list. I was confused as fuck. Number 8 is Narcos.
Oh, so is mine.
Oh, wow. Did we just both talk about it?
Yeah, talk about it together.
All right.
Somehow got the same spot. Yeah, 8 was Narcos for me.
Yeah. It was a good season. I have no idea what's going to happen next season.
Yeah.
But
apparently they're talking about the Cali cartel next season. It remains to be seen how good it will be. Look, I think that's what
if Penny is still
that
there,
noise
I'm on board for that.
Yeah, that's what that noise you made just transferred to. It remains to be seen.
Like, I'm sure there's still like a lot of interesting history there, and I'm keen to see that. But
Pablo Escobar was the best in this season.
The actor who plays him is he's a central charismatic figure for this show. And I get that it's called Narcos and not Pablo Escobar because it's more about the two DEA agents, but still.
I feel like in this second season, though, they realized they needed to focus more on Pablo, and that really helped the second season out. Not that the first season was bad, it wasn't. It was great, but I liked this season a lot better.
Oh, yeah. There was some good shit in this season.
Mm-hmm. It got balls to the wall at points. And you really felt the stakes at all times.
And, like, because of this show, like, I'm considering going... I think the DEA agents are doing, like, a talk or something in Melbourne in, like, March.
Yeah, like actual Steve Murphy and Javier Pena.
I'm very much considering going to that. Like, I don't know what I'd get out of it. Like, I don't.
I just want to see them.
I just want to be there and be like, so what was it like, man? Like, I feel like it'd be super interesting.
Yeah. Well, apparently they were actually in one of the episodes.
Yeah, they're in the last episode.
Yeah, in the
like,
bar
a
episode.
scene.
They're sitting at the bar drinking together.
Mm.
So there you go.
I'd be down. I'd be down to go for that.
Want to move on to our number sevens now?
All right, number seven. I'll go first again, I guess, because we both know. The People versus O.J. Simpson American Crime Story.
That's one of the ones I haven't watched yet, but I feel like I really want to.
Oh boy, like
it has both Ross and Sarah Paulson, which I both like. I don't know Ross's real name. David Schwimmer. Yeah, it's David Schwimmer.
Yeah, he plays
Kardashian.
Yeah, one of the Kardashians. I forget if it's Rob or David.
The Kardashian that actually does something with their life.
Yeah. I did not expect to like this show as much as I did.
Yeah?
Because who gives a fuck about the O.J. Simpson's trial? It's like some blown over American bullshit. But the way that it paces it out, the way you get sucked into the context of the era and how much there's like, it's the same thing with like Straight Outta Compton where like these things come in like cycles where like the context of that era is still very much the context of now.
It's still relevant.
It works so well. And the actor that they got to play Johnny Cochran, Michael B. Vance, one of the best performances of the year. Bar none. He was so amazing in this show. I think he won like an Emmy or something, or at least he got nominated. I can't remember. But he deserves it. The whole cast deserves it. It's amazing. The only thing I would say isn't great about the show is maybe who they've got playing OJ, which is what's his name? Cuba Gooding Jr. He's okay in the role. He's fine. But it's everyone around him who's impressive. He's just kind of like, oh yeah, and this Cuba Gooding Jr. He's doing fine, I guess.
It's always funny when the main character is the weakest.
Yeah, but everyone around him is so good that you don't even really care that his performance is just kind of weird because you're just so engrossed in what everyone else is doing that you're just like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. So yeah, highly recommend it. Real good.
Yeah.
Just a really good, like, long kind of court case, kind of going into like every detail. I'm pretty sure most of it is factual. I'm not sure if they dramatized much, so you can pretty much watch it as like, hey, this is pretty, like it's recent history. So I feel like if they shorthanded anything, people would be like, that's not exactly what happened. So I'd have to look it up to find out what they was like dramatized. Like, it didn't happen, but for the most part, I feel like it's pretty much this recreation of history. So yeah, real good. Highly recommend it.
Cool. Yeah, well, my number 7 is Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Loved it. Mike Calder, as you said, he's a big glass of chocolate milk. I think you said chocolate. He's chocolate milk to me. I don't know why. He just is. He's
a handsome man.
Yeah, it was.
Loves himself some coffee.
he loves himself some coffee. No, I don't know what else to say about this show that you haven't already. It was great. It had some punching. The second half was a bit weaker, but I still loved it. I loved when Claire Temple was in it. She brought a light to that show. She was much better in this than she has been before.
She's the best she's ever been is in.
Yeah, but I feel like she had a lot more to do in this.
Yeah, that's definitely like what helped because like before she's just kind of been there and be like, I like her, but she hasn't got a lot to do.
Yeah,
but yeah, this season was like, oh wow,
yeah,
you got a lot to do here, and she had some stuff to do at Daredevil in season 2, like more than
she had more than season 1.
But yeah, definitely in Luke Cage, she's like become her own.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I won't say much more about it, Luke Cage, because we already said it, and it's a good show. Watch it if you like Luke Cage. What's your number 6, Aiden?
My number 6 is... Let me pull up my list. Orange is the New Black.
Yeah. I've watched most of it. I still need to watch the new season. Just other shows came up.
Final episode. I cried like a little bitch. Only show really to make me do that this year.
See, I sometimes tear up from shows and movies, but I've never actually proper, bawled.
It might have been because this was like around the same time as like the Aurora shooting, and it might have been a combination of that and some other things that like just kind of all compiled into this one thing, and Orange is the New Black kind of like captured it in this perfect way that
Probably
cried.
all bottled up. See,
Yeah.
as men, I feel like we let our emotions bottle up because I think the last time I actually cried was like 2011. So,
No, I haven't cried like that in forever. Like that was proper sobbing.
yeah.
It also might have been because I watched like 6 episodes in a row and it was like 3 a.m, and I was just broken down and tired.
Yeah.
Who knows?
A combination of things. No, it's if it elicits an emotional reaction, that means it's done its job.
Yeah,
That's why we
that's
consume
why it
media.
gets to be so high on this list. I think others like made me go whoa a bit more, but yeah, that was like whew,
Yeah. No. Well,
biggest emotional reaction from me this year, definitely.
great. I'm looking forward to getting to the next season, especially now that we're all done with this. I can finish Orange is the New Black and I can finish Orphan Black. Those are my next that I'm getting on to.
I need to start Orphan Black. Well, I need to watch the second episode.
It's
first
good.
season.
It's good. It's good. I've watched the whole first season, but that's it. But yeah, it's a good show.
I'll get to it.
Anyway, my number 6 is Black Mirror. It ended up a little higher on my list than yours.
Yeah. No, I still liked it. So
No, it's just every episode felt like it was good enough to be its own movie. Just the production value and the brilliant storytelling. I think my favorite episode was the San Junipero, whatever it's called, just because it's had a happy ending.
that was a pretty good one.
I didn't feel broken inside after. I'm like, you know what? That's really nice.
I think
really
my
nice.
my favorite one might be the gaming horror movie.
The
one.
playtest, the one we watched when you were here for PAX.
Just because it plays with like so many like horror movie, kind of like tropes and like puts them on their head. Where like a main character being very aware of like, oh, what next? You're gonna have my friend who I hate show up, and then he shows up and it's like, oh, hey man.
Yeah. And
Weird.
Like at first it was doing stuff like that, and you were right along with him, like, yeah, but then it just did shit that just fucked with your head.
Yeah, and then but also like probably didn't scare me as much as the first episode where it's all like based on like Instagram likes or whatever. It's basically like a scarier version of
That was
meow meow
terrifying.
meow meow beans. Oh,
That was
I hated it. I feel like it's the pastel aesthetic. It was the aesthetic mostly.
That was
that
the one with
terrified
Bryce
me.
Dallas Howard, right? Yeah.
She was real good in that. Way better than she was in Jurassic World. Like, she's a good actress. I like her.
Yeah.
I hope she does more good things. But no, I
think my favorite episode, other than San Junipero, because that was the happy one. I think my second favorite was the one about the freaking boy with the masturbating virus.
Oh, I didn't finish that episode.
Oh, you didn't finish it?
That's the only one I haven't finished. I got about halfway
Oh,
through
okay. There's a mad twist at the end.
that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why I loved it, because of how well executed the twist was.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, no, I won't say
nice.
it then
No.
because you haven't finished
I've
it.
heard good things about that one. I didn't get through it. I need to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
in full. I liked I was liking where the premise was going. I was like, okay, this feels very real world. This is nice. But yeah, I think the first episode was the one that just the aesthetic of it, and like the idea of like where everyone has to be polite and no one can say what they really mean, and pastels.
That's terrifying to me.
Fucking hate pastels. So much. Oh,
Yeah.
God. There's this store that like it just sells like pastel colored like notebooks, and it's like really well lit, and it's all like pastel-y pink and green and blues and stuff.
Is that the one in the Sturt Mall? As soon as
I
you
think it is. Yeah,
get in on the
fucking hate
right.
it. I hate it. Oh, it wounds me entirely. Like that's my idea of a nightmare, is being stuck in that store, and that's what this fucking episode of Black Mirror was. It was just like, my heart was palpitating. I felt very uncomfortable. I was just sitting there like, I hate this. I hate it so much. Yeah, fuck that episode.
I feel like in that episode, I related so much to her brother. He's like, fuck that app. Just fuck it.
Fuck all those people. Fuck it all. No, yeah.
Yeah, I related with him so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. What was your number 5?
My number 5 was Mr. Robot.
Still haven't watched that either.
Oh boy, do I love me some Mr. Robot. It is. It's just so good. Like,
Yeah?
yeah. Have you seen Fight Club?
Yeah. Watched it this year.
If you like Fight Club, you will like Mr. Robot. That's pretty much just how it goes.
Okay.
Like, it's Fight Club with more computers in it.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
It's good. Definitely check. First season is great. It even like it's very self-aware that it's like very heavily inspired by like Fight Club and other things, but especially in like there's a moment at I think it's in like the 9th episode where like they have like this big reveal, and then "Where Is My Mind" by the Pixies starts playing.
Oh, yes.
So like they're very aware of like, hey, Fight Club was a cool movie.
I actually first heard that song from one of my English teachers. Actually, not just one of my English teachers, Chloe's dad.
Oh yeah, well of course.
Yeah. He was the best English teacher I ever had.
Mad into the Pixies. Loves him some Pixies.
Yeah,
That whole family loves the Pixies. No, Pixies is great. Mr. Robot is great. It's a good show. You should definitely watch it.
Nice. So my number 5 was a show that I'm pretty sure is higher on your list because you haven't said it yet, and I know you loved it. Atlanta. It was
Yeah. It's
again,
actually my number 4, so we can probably talk about it both now. If you
Oh
want.
yeah, because it'll be your next one. So I'll
yeah.
do this, and we'll do this and my number 4. Okay. No, Atlanta. It was. I think when we talked about it a little bit before, it has the same thing that Louis C.K.'s show has. It's funny in a real world sense.
Yeah, a lot of like the best humor is where you're relating to it really hard. Like I think the one I related to a lot was the episode where he has to go on a date and he's only got like $50 in the bank account.
Yeah, I love
and
that.
he's just because man, I'm a cheapskate for life. Even if I even have like $1 billion, just be sitting there like, and it'll be $3 for this bagel, sir.
Yeah, I love the bit where he talks to the bartender in that bar, and the bartender goes, "Nigga, you broke as shit."
Yeah.
Just
like-
saying, I'm allowed to say it because it was a quote. Just saying, it was a quote.
I think the only time there was like a really kind of like what the fuck out there joke that I really enjoyed was when that dude had like an invisible car and then he ran over a bunch of people. And they say it at the start,
It's like Louis. It had some of those absurdist aspects. Like there was a whole episode where it was on that talk show.
Oh, that might be my favorite episode actually.
It was hilarious.
That is because it
And not only that, but it had a good message. The message was like, some of these things are whack, yo. And
some of this shit is
you
weird.
don't have
and
to...
not all these people agree. Like, if you're confused by it, that's fine. It is confusing.
Yeah, and it's like, just don't be a dick about it.
Yeah.
You don't have
really.
to like it. You don't have to understand it. Just whatever.
Yeah. Just like, whatever about it. Like, hey, man, just don't get in the way of them feeling good about themselves. Just be like, hey, man, I don't get it, but that's you. That's your thing.
And you know what? That episode where they go to the Juneteenth party, the guy in that episode, I fear so much that I'm like him sometimes. Like whenever
You're not that bad.
No, like whenever
Do
I
not
start
worry.
talking to people about black rights and stuff, I'm just like, is that what I sound like? Is that what I sound like when I
just
start
waiting for,
spouting
like-
about black rights?
Waiting for Donald Glover to come behind you. It's like, stop being so nice about it.
Oh, yeah, such a great show. But yeah. Atlanta.
Stop understanding me so much. Fucking stop. It's weird. It's creepy. It's like, no, you're not that bad. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He snuck his album in there.
Yeah, in the
It wasn't
study.
until later that like I think even like he had like a appearance on like James Corden or something where it was wearing the album on a t-shirt, and it wasn't until like the album came out, I was like, he's been fucking promoting this shit for ages. Just haven't noticed it. God damn.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to say about Atlanta till I move on to my number 4?
What else can I say about it? Donald Glover continues to be one of the most impressively creative people out there.
Yeah, he's one of my
constantly
favorite people
reinventing
right
himself, constantly pushing the boundaries of what you think he's capable of. It's an amazing show. I can't wait to see what
Well,
season 2 does.
considering this year he made both our TV and our music list, it's an achievement of its own.
Yeah.
To be on our lists.
Right? He very easily, if like some of these other things hadn't come out this year, could have been number one on like albums and TV shows. And if he'd had a movie this year, he could have been number one on that as well.
You could
Who
have.
knows?
Could have. No,
Like, this could have just been the Donald Glover Appreciation Hour.
it could have been. It almost is.
But no, it's an amazing show. Yeah, I think my favorite episodes are the talk show episode, just because of how fucking weird it is.
Yeah, I love that. Like, at first you're like, is this going to be the whole episode? Then you check halfway through how long you're in, like, this is going to be the whole episode.
I haven't laughed that much at something this whole year as much as I laughed at that episode. It was the most I laughed was at that episode. And then, yeah, but the one I think I enjoyed and related to the most was the episode where he is broke as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's move on. My number 4 is Daredevil Season 2.
It's real good, isn't it?
It's real good.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else to say about it. We've talked about it a lot on this show. It is just punching and kicking and some brilliant acting. John Bernthal was great. When Wilson Fisk showed up, spoilers, it was great.
I think some things I didn't mention when before, just highlights for the season. The episode where he talks to the Punisher on the roof, and then that hallway fight.
Oh, fantastic.
I've watched that hallway fight like a bunch of times afterwards. Just been like, I've got to go back and watch this. This is just that good. Where he takes out the Irish mob in like those hallways where he's just, I suppose that the way he just like walks in that they can't see him. He just walks past, like taps on a hallway. What's that thing? Like above a door. Doorway, just like taps it. Yeah, it's so like casual, but it was so kind of badass in a way. It was just like walking past, like tap, and they're just like, "Whoa, what the fuck's that?" And it's like, I'm just being casual, and I'm freaking you out. Whoa, I really like that. And it was just a good season.
Yeah, it was great.
A lot of good shit. John Bernthal again, fucking amazing.
Oh,
his hallway fight scene where he kills so many people in a prison. Oh. Bloody as fuck. Amazing.
Oh. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it. You want to move on to your number 3? We're getting to the business end. And I feel like we have the same top 3 shows at this point. I don't know what order we're in, though.
It might be. Actually, something... I've completely forgotten something and hasn't made my list.
What have you forgotten?
I've forgotten Game of Thrones.
Travesty.
It was on my list, and then I was editing it to make it down to 10, and I was gonna put it back in somewhere, and then I forgot to. You know what?
Where do you want to slot it and push everything down one?
Slot Luke Cage down 1 and 4. No, slot just before Atlanta, I think. So put it at number 5. Luke Cage goes to 11. Yeah. Number 5 before Atlanta, because I didn't enjoy the whole season, but those last 2 episodes were fucking amazing. Oh my god!
Well, let's talk about it together, because Game of Thrones was my number 3 that I was about.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, go.
Wait, no. Yes.
No.
Yes, 3.
Yeah,
I got lost in my order. I fuck.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Game of Thrones now, and then I'll go to my number 3.
Yeah, well, Game of Thrones I feel like just the second half of the season, even just the Battle of the Bastards in that last episode is just so satisfying. It just made it this hard because it was so satisfying.
If the Battle of the Bastards was a movie that came out this year, it would be in my top 10.
Yeah.
It was that fucking good. Just when all of those horses are barreling down on Jon Snow and knowing that is a real shot that isn't CGI, it's just really good like framing and placement and choreography. Whoo!
It's just crazy good.
Amazing.
It's consistently one of the best shows on television.
I cannot wait for next season.
Yeah.
It's
I really want to see how they wrap
I
it
really
up.
hope that they just keep the momentum going and don't slow it down.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Because they've only got like 7 episodes this year?
Yes, 7 episodes this year and then 7 episodes next year, and it's done.
Fuck.
Yeah,
so I want it to be done, but I don't want it to be done. Like, that's so fucking weird.
I'm looking forward to the show, seeing how it all concludes.
And then I think HBO has pretty much confirmed that they're gonna do some like maybe prequel things, maybe like Rob's Rebellion. Which, there's a lot of Game of Thrones history that I feel like could be interesting to see, but I'm just happy to see like this chapter like close and have like, if that isn't good, then I can be like, hey man, this shit here was good. So I'm hoping it ends well. Like I'm hoping we get like a Breaking Bad kind of feeling where like we get to the end of it and we're like, best TV show ever, good all the way through, amazing, fuck yeah.
Yeah, nice. Anyway, that was my number 3. Have you said your number 3?
My number 3 was BoJack Horseman.
Oh yeah, a show that I don't really like.
Oh, I fucking love this show.
Both you and Louise do that to me every time I say I don't like it.
It just, how much have you watched of it?
I've watched about 3 episodes.
See, you need like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
See, it takes a while for like what's really good about it to kick in. And you need to get through those kind of like first 3 episodes where like, well, it's just a TV show until you get to it. And then you're like, oh, that's why people keep talking about this show. It's fucking amazing. It talks about depression and, feeling unfulfilled in a way that no other show can or has dared to. And it's like taken this like light to how fucked up, kind of the Hollywood system is, and how fucked up being a celebrity is, and how much like that would fuck up your childhood. It's a dark, funny show that has these great kind of visual animal gags while also having these really kind of dark, human, emotional moments.
Cool.
I cannot recommend it high enough. You need to push through and finish the first season and tell me if you are on board or not. Because if you're not on board after like a season of it, then I'll be like, I don't know what to say, man. I guess it's just not for you. But if first 3 episodes, I'm like, no, come on, push through a bit more.
I feel if I've given a show 3 episodes, it's had its chance.
No, you got to take the whole season as a package, and then if after that you don't like it, then I'll never mention it again to you.
We'll see how I go.
Do it.
Anyway, we're so lost in these lists. That was your number 3. Now, number twos.
All right, I feel like since we haven't mentioned either of these yet,
I feel like both we have the same 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Which is your number?
I got Westworld and Stranger Things. What do you got?
I got Stranger Things and Westworld.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I think I ended up with Stranger Things on top just because it was a more kind of short, concise. It just felt like a better all-round package. The way it was presented, It did what it wanted to do.
Honestly, it was so close to me, and I think if, like you, I had the Man in Black spoiled for me, maybe it would have been the other way around. But I didn't have that spoiled for me. I did not predict it at all, and it just the storytelling in Westworld was amazing. Not the storytelling in Stranger Things wasn't. I just feel like there's just so many more little intricate details and Easter eggs in Westworld that I love that shit.
No, don't get me wrong. It's my number 2 of like the whole year. It's still amazing, and there were so many moments in Westworld where I've just been like, fuck yeah, like the first episode even where they have the old timey kind of Westy version of Paint It Black. And that scene where that dude just massacres everyone. Enthralling, enrapturing, amazing. There's so many moments where like you're talking about, what are we in different time periods? Are there 2 timelines? Who's who is and isn't a synth? I don't know. I just, especially like watching.
How much Fallout have you been playing?
It's taken over my life, like to an extent where I'm like, I probably need to stop playing it and put it away because I have shit to do, and it's just like all of my YouTube is like switched from being like this very kind of like broad and like diverse, like, it's a bunch of different things. But now it's just all like Fallout, like lore and theories. I'm just like, I am balls deep in it. And
man, like any RPG, you'll pass through it eventually. Just enjoy it while you're there, because I've moved on from that with both that and a little bit Skyrim now.
You'll come back to it.
Oh, I'll come back to Skyrim because I
It pulls
pretty
you
much
back
stopped
in.
Skyrim to play the games I was given for Christmas, but not the point. Anyway,
No,
not the point. We're not
that's
talking
fair.
about games right now.
Yeah, no, if those are... We did a review. I'm not sure. Do we ever do a review on Stranger Things?
We
I feel
didn't.
like
There was too many things out, and we didn't realize it was
well,
going to be as great as it was.
one of my favorite things of the year. I'm kind of sad we didn't get to do a big proper review of it.
We
maybe
will in season 2.
Yeah, season 2 we'll definitely do a review. It was great. I love it.
Yeah, fantastic.
I loved it so much.
And so was Westworld. Westworld was just phenomenal, phenomenal acting, phenomenal storytelling.
One of the greatest.
Yeah. And that's our top top TV shows of 2016. This is going to be an extra long episode. Fuck it. Who cares? I keep looking at the time and being like, this is so long.
Oh, special mention, which I think also got cut off my list, same as Game of Thrones. The Night of.
I didn't watch that. I feel I need to.
It's real good.
I didn't know it was a thing until like a month ago when everyone started talking about it on their lists.
It's got Rami Malek. Not Rami Malek.
Riz Ahmed.
Riz Ahmed, yeah. He the pilot from Rogue One in it, and he's amazing in it. It's great.
Yeah, well, I recently
Highly
saw him
recommend
in the OA, and he was really good in that too.
Always in that? Okay, good. I gotta put that on my
Yeah,
list.
he didn't have a huge role in it, but he was really good when he was in it. But no,
nice,
definitely,
nice.
definitely watch the OA. It's just the finale was so much of a letdown.
Okay. Oh, it's on my list. Like it, I've got Netflix.
I feel like if you're prepared for the letdown of the finale, you'll
I have a
handle it
meeting
better
to
than
get
me.
to that and Spectral, which is like some cheesy, actiony sci-fi.
Yeah, I've
thing
been
they've got
seeing
on there.
Spectral. Anyway, I want to move into our movie list.
Yeah, let's get into our movie list. So do you want to quickly do like what was your favorite game of last year
My favorite game.
that came out last year? Because
What games do I have that came out last year? Shit.
just pick one and say like, hey, I like that one the most. Or what did you play the most?
I'll probably play the Skyrim remastered.
All right, yeah.
Do remasters count?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, Skyrim remastered.
Okay. Well, I bought Watch Dogs 2.
Haven't played it yet.
I haven't played it yet. I've been balls deep in Fallout. So I guess that's my favorite game of 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I played Arkham Knight. Got through that. Did some of the DLC. I think I've got 1 or 2 I haven't done yet, but I'm like,
Yeah.
they're
Well,
just there.
what else did I play this year? I've played like all 3 of the BioShock games that were remastered. No Man's Sky. Wasn't as fantastic as I wanted it to be, but it's really cool space simulator, basically. It's fun. It's a good relaxed game.
Oh, yeah.
I've recently also played Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1.
Oh,
Both
yeah.
real good. I mean, as good as first-person shooters are. Still haven't played Dishonored 2, but I'll get around to it.
Okay, let's get
Can't think of anything else. I know
to
there was
some
more.
movies. Alrighty. Our grand finale section. The top 10 movies of 2016.
Yeah. Now, I have 20 on my list, so I'm just going to rattle through 20.
Rattle
until
through your 20
10.
to 11. Yeah,
Okay.
go through it.
Some of these are on there, just tacked on there, just because I was kind of like, you know what, I just want to make it around 20 at this point. So,
All right.
so I had Suicide Squad at 20,
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbusters at 19, X-Men Apocalypse at 18,
Okay.
Batman The Killing Joke at 17,
Oh, yeah.
Finding Dory at 16, Barry at 15,
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them at 14, Other People at 13, Deepwater Horizon at 12, and Kubo and the Two Strings at 11.
Okay. All right.
What about yours? Did you have anything extra? on your 10?
I'm just bringing up a list now because I keep this list somewhere else. I've only got my top 10 here, but I've got I think another 10 I can mention.
If you want.
Do you want to go into what your number 10 was real quick and I'll...
Well, you get to it? Okay.
yeah.
My number 10 is, fittingly enough, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Okay.
Now, the reason I put it here is just because of how much I liked the first 3 quarters. The first 3 quarters was so tense, and there was such good acting from John Goodman, and I don't remember the girl actor's name, but she was great too. And just like it moved at a really good pace, and just you never know, like if he's gonna kill her or not.
Okay.
And I just loved how tense it was. I haven't seen a movie that tense in a long time, and I loved it. But
All right.
might have been higher on my list if it weren't for the last quarter, which was real bad. But yeah, that was my number 10.
Okay. I'm gonna change that around. Okay, so my number 20 is Suicide Squad.
Same.
Fundamentals of Caring at number 19. 18, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I don't know why that's up so high.
What?
I've got to switch that around.
Okay.
This is an aggregated list. I put these things in and then let's see what it comes out. 17, Jungle Book. 16, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. 15, The Killing Joke. 14, X-Men Apocalypse. That needs to go down a bit. 13, Doctor Strange. 12, Barry. And 11, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
So the start of our lists are kind of pretty similar.
Yeah, we'll see how they go from there. I think it's going to be a bit different from there, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. So what's your number
right.
10?
My number 10 is Star Trek Beyond.
Didn't watch it.
That's fine. It was I feel like one of the most underrated big kind of tentpole movies of the summer season. It was good. It's as good as any of the other Star Trek films. It was fine. So I'm kind of bummed out that like
I've never been that into Star Trek. That's my thing with it. I've never been that into Star Trek.
You don't really need to be that into Star Trek to enjoy these films. I feel like your cursory understanding will get you through this one. Like, if you know, like, oh, yeah, that one's Kirk and Spock, and then there's Simon Pegg is the Scottish one, you'll get it. You're fine.
Nice. Okay.
I'd recommend that. It's fun. It was a fun movie.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to my number 9.
Mm-hmm.
My number 9 was Green Room. Probably the next most tense movie of the year for me.
Okay.
Like Patrick Stewart and Anton...
I did not get to that one.
Oh, you need to.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart and Anton Yelchin, rest in peace. They were both phenomenal in it. Like everyone in the movie was good, but those two were great.
He's great in Star Trek Beyond as well.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't get a lot to do, but man, I'm gonna miss him.
He had a lot more to do in this than I dare say.
Probably.
Yeah, he was one of the band members, and the way he handled it how a real person would handle that situation.
Okay.
Like some of them were real dumb, but he handled it the way a real person would. He wasn't quite good at handling the situation, but he wasn't that terrible at it. Like he wasn't a typical horror movie terrible at it. So no, it was really tense and is real good acting. I feel like that's what's good about this movie. A lot of acting. 'Cause for most of it, they're stuck in, believe it or not, the green room.
Oh.
So yeah.
Well, there you go.
Good horror movie.
All right. My number 9 is Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool. Okay.
Yeah. It was a fun movie. It was a great way to start off the kind of superhero season. Where the season went from there was a bit up and down. DC, but it was fun. No, it's a fun movie. It was a great way to, like, it was a good February movie. I'm hoping we get, like, a fun February movie this year. I'm not sure what that's going to be.
What do we have around then? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Like, but I'm hoping there's something, like, released in that kind of February time slot. Because the year before, it was Kingsman, and that was, like, kind of that great.
Yeah, Kingsman's, the second one's coming out the end of this year.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I hope that's good. Yeah, like, that's what we got. 2015, 2016 was Deadpool, so I'm hoping 2017 is something equally as good, where it's that kind of dark, comic booky, kind of real, like, crass humor, but real fun. Like, not the best, but, you know, real fun.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, I love Deadpool too. So maybe
All
I'll
right.
see it later on my list.
What's your number 8?
My number 8. I don't know if you watched this. The Witch.
I did not get to this one. No.
Oh, it's actually a lot better than I expected.
Okay.
Like, it's based, like, in America, like, just after they colonized it, I'm pretty sure. And it was, like, real...
So this is like the Pilgrims.
Yeah, when it's still, like, New England.
Ah.
And it's, like, it's actually based on old folklore.
Okay.
And they literally say at the end, like, you know, this movie was made by a collection of, like, journal entries and writings we found from that time. Those, you know, things people said. And it's, the main chick in it was so good. And like a lot of, cause like the dialogue was very period appropriate, so I only understood about 50% of what they were saying.
So you were going a lot by like reactions and
Yeah.
faces. We're like, okay,
It's like
he
father.
seems angry.
You're like father and thou'st and thee and shall and I don't know. you know that
Righto.
way they used to speak back then.
Mm.
Like if you actually watch Shakespeare in its original dialogue, half of it you're like, wait, what? Like
Apparently, that's not how they spoke back then. That's like those are just plays. Like that's just like Shakespeare. Like I like writing in this style, and it's a nice way to write. But if you were to go back and
but
like,
still, the way the
people
language
talk much more normally.
Yeah. Well, still, the language was quite different back then in the what was it, 1700s even. Yeah, it was late 1700s they came to America. So, yeah, like, the language was quite different then, and I feel like they got that right. And, like, I still understood what they were talking about. It was just sometimes it was a bit harder to follow because of it.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it actually had some scares in it. Had some
nice.
scares. And, like,
that was one of like the horror movies that I kept hearing about from people. Was like, this is good.
Yeah, it was good. And the ending, I won't say what happened, but I really said to myself, you know what? It's really the only rational thing to do at this point. That's all I'll say. Really only rational thing to do at this point.
Okay, my number 8 was Hell or High Water.
Oh, that was real good.
So you got to that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Newfound appreciation from Chris Pine.
Ooh. Yeah, he was... Because of this movie, and I think Star Trek Beyond as well, he is my most underappreciated actor of... or at least most underappreciated Chris of 2016.
I actually read an article just yesterday which was like all the Chris's of Hollywood compared.
He's great in this. But I think it's more... Who's the other? Ben Foster, I feel like, steals the show a little bit more than him. But still, great movie. If you like Westerns, but you want to see one in modern day...
The modern Western.
It's so good. And that just... More than like what the movie is about, there's these great kind of like... It's hitting these kind of great points of like, here's why there's kind of like middle America. Like, watching that made me understand more why people would vote for Trump. Like, it made me get the desperation more. It made me, like, more than anything else where, like, other people can like, explain it like, oh, yeah, this, and that. But, like, you get that kind of, like, Texas kind of, like, southern middle America feel of, like, oh, yeah, shit all in these towns. I fucking get it now.
Yeah, and it's good to understand. It's good to understand opinions that aren't your own. So I go out of my way to try and understand the opinions of people who have opposite opinions than me. Just like, you know what, I don't agree with you, but I understand where you're coming from. Because I feel that's what makes us humans, What will help us get along. But anyway, it's not the point. We're talking about movies and shit.
Yeah. But yeah, this one and the next one on my list were definitely like some of the best road movies I saw.
Yeah. Well, the next one on my list with number 7 was Zootopia.
This just didn't like make my... I think I was adjusting my list and it fell down a bit.
No, I really liked it. I like a good animated movie, but there aren't that many out there these days. But this one it had such adult humor in it at points, and like especially the point where the guy's pirating the DVDs and you see like the animal covers of the Disney DVDs. I'm like, eh.
Yeah,
and like
Jurassic World, something. They did a bunch of posters that were like that.
Yeah, and I was like, freaking... what was that? The race war. They basically started a race war.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so funny. But no, it was just a real good movie. It had a real good message, and it was funny. That's all I'll say about it.
It was way better than I expected it to be. Like,
Definitely.
I saw that trailer and I was like, ugh, fuck it, kill me now. But I watched it and I was like, oh.
I probably wouldn't have seen it if you didn't tell me how good it was, honestly.
So surprisingly good. Probably my biggest surprise of 2016. I know it's not on my list, but it's surprise now. But yeah, biggest surprise of like, oh, fuck, I did not expect to like this as much as I did. So
there you go. So what was your number 7?
My number 7 was Midnight Special. Another kind of really good road movie. If you liked Stranger Things and you liked Hell or High Water, you will like Midnight Special.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about it.
Okay, so what, you want to keep it a mystery?
I'll keep a bit of the mystery, but yeah, if you if you like Stranger Things and you're looking for something else of that kind of vibe,
Okay.
definitely check out Midnight Special. Lots of great actors in it. Michael Shannon fucking brings it, as he always does. He does not know how to not bring it. Even as Zod, he is amazing.
Nice.
Even that character is kind of boring in that movie, he's still like, I'm still Michael Shannon and I refuse to be a bad actor. So
Yeah, he is pretty good. Okay, you've convinced me.
yeah, definitely. Check out
Anyway,
Midnight
what are we up
Special.
to now? Number 6. My number 6 is Doctor Strange.
Oh.
It was huge and it was magical. I loved the visuals in this. This is what got me about it. And apparently they said that sequence, like the first real trippy sequence where they send him into the void or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently there was originally a 20-minute cut of that. Just like, yes, please. Yes, please.
Give that to me as like a deleted scene where it's just 20 minutes of him falling through different dimensions. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because I think it ended up being like, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah. It was about like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, but no, apparently there's a 20-minute cut of it.
I would totally watch that.
I
Like,
would
I get why
watch
they
that.
cut that from a movie. Like, that's like,
It's
it's
a
too
bit
much
Yeah.
in the movie. But like, as something to watch after you've seen it, it's like,
Or like
here's a
or
20-minute
in an
movie.
extended edition.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe in an extended edition I'd watch it. But I feel like it'd work more as like a deleted scene. Because that's basically like a whole episode of a TV show of just a guy going, oh, and falling through a hole. while
Maybe
you
there
watch
was maybe
triple
there was
sequences.
more to it. Maybe she
Maybe.
joined him and took him through and showed him things. I don't know.
Maybe, but yeah, I'm just imagining 20 minutes of him going, whoa, whoa, whoa. With just crazy visuals.
I'd watch it, but yeah, no, it was a great
And then
movie.
if you mix that with like an Avalanche's soundtrack or like a Childish Gambino song, I'll be like, whoa, yes. Whoa, magic, whoa, different dimensions, whoa. Yeah. I can't hear like most of the lyrics in that song, but all I hear is peanut butter chocolate
Kool-Aid made it to change my mind.
Oh yes.
Now stay
All right.
woke. I love that. Stay woke.
Stay woke. I will, Childish Gambino.
Anyway, Doctor Strange,
all right.
great. Watch it.
Yeah. Number 6, The Nice Guys.
I didn't see that.
It's real fun. Like, if you like Shane Black's kind of like approach to films where it's like, it's a buddy comedy, it's set at Christmas, and it's a bit darker than you think it would be, then yeah, I've realized watching The Nice Guys that I really like, I feel like he's doing the same thing every movie, but I like it. I'm on board for it every time he does it because it's slightly different and the characters are interesting. He makes really good buddy cop comedies.
Yeah.
Like other people are trying to do it and they don't get the formula. They don't get it. They don't get what you're supposed to do. He gets it. He knows.
Does it have
that's
a real
why I
big
probably-
80s vibe to it?
A 70s vibe to it.
Ooh,
Great 70s vibe to it. Yeah.
classic.
Set in 77 as well.
Oh.
So,
I might watch it at some point then.
definitely recommend it. It's funny. It's a bit dark. I think the bit that really sold it for me is when Ryan Gosling, he goes to break into a bar to get some like evidence, and he like smashes a window and it cuts his arm, and he's like, oh shit, and then like he basically like hit an artery and it's just bleeding everywhere, and then next thing you know he's in hospital, so he never gets to break into the place to get the evidence because he's an idiot and tried to punch some glass and like severed an artery in his arm.
I love that because you see that a lot in movies, but this movie's kind of like, no, you can't
No, here's
do
what
that.
would actually happen. Like, no, you would cut yourself and you would need to immediately go to hospital, you dumb idiot.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
number 5 we're up to now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, number 5.
My
What is
number
your number 5?
was Hell or High Water. I liked this so much.
So good, right?
Oh, the acting was great, and the bank robberies and the
I didn't mention how much I also like Jeff Bridges in the movie.
Oh,
Like, he's
he
a
was
dick.
great.
He's a big old dick in the movie, but I enjoy any time he gets to do his gruff kind of like, I'm a cowboy voice.
Yeah, but like, at the same time, he's like, well, these guys are kind of robbing banks. I know we're sympathetic towards them because they're the main characters, but they're kind of doing the wrong thing.
I think I was kind of on fence of like, support this right up until like there's a bit at the end where like,
The whole plan came out that they were, spoiler alert, they were robbing the banks that were trying to steal their farm from them, then giving their money back to them.
yeah, and then
I'm like, you know what? That is poetic justice. If
there's
I've
a bit
ever
where
seen
he's
it.
talking with a bank manager and he's just so fucking slimy that I'm just like, oh, I know, fuck him, fuck those banks, get him, fucking get him.
It's just such poetic justice. They only robbed the banks that were trying to take their ranch away from them.
And
And
it's
then they
not
gave
until,
their
like,
money back to them.
Yeah, it's not until like the end where like shit goes a bit south, but yeah, it's a good movie.
See, I feel like Chris Pine's character kind of always knew it was going to go that way. The calmness, I wouldn't say calm, but the way he handled it when they split up is like he kind of knew that's how it was always going to end. But I feel like maybe he thought he'd die as well and just leave, the ranch with the oil to his children. I think maybe he thought he'd die as well doing it.
No, real good. Even with like, some spoilers. No, watch it. It's still good. It's a great journey.
Well,
like,
I said spoilers before I probably said it. So they could skip the few seconds. So
all right. Spoilers end here. Oh, okay. Yeah, my number 5 was Other People.
Oh, that was a lot lower down on my list.
Yeah, the more I thought about it, the more that it just affected me a lot. Like, and I watched it with my mum as well, so I feel like that made the experience a lot.
I watched it with my sister, so
yeah. So like,
did you give your mum a big hug after it?
I did. Bloody did.
Cute.
Man, all that cancer talk, and it was just so sad. It was just
it's just. I feel like the trailer made it look like it was kind of like, a tragic comedy where it was just like, I have cancer, but I'm still fun and quirky. But it's like, no, she has cancer and it fucking
cancer's
sucks.
a son of a bitch. Yeah. Like it was, I feel like it's definitely written about like someone's memoirs of like trying to deal with their mum dying.
Yeah, I feel like the writer definitely had experience with cancer.
It definitely felt like something that had happened to someone. This didn't just feel like someone making it up. Like there's probably like some dramatization in there, but it definitely felt like someone's actual story.
Yeah. And it also had like the struggles of being gay with a parent that doesn't accept you.
Just
that was
not
great.
even just cancer. They throw that shit in as well. Like
yeah. So I've
much
got to say.
Deal with.
Sex scenes in general with my family are awkward. The gay sex scene made it a little more awkward. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. But I don't. Yeah.
Oh, it was a non-issue, but it was still a bit awkward. Just like gay sex on the TV. Sister right next to me. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I watched it with my mum, so there you go.
Probably worse.
All right. Yeah. What was your number 4?
My number 4 was Deadpool. Why haven't you had it? No, it was real funny. That's basically why it got so high. I love the fourth wall breaking. That's something that you don't really see in movies enough. And I feel like there was a million ways they could have...
wall break inside a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls.
No, see, there's so many ways they could have not pulled that off. But the fact that they did pull it off is probably why they made it so high on the list. Because they pulled that off.
When that test footage leaked, and we're just like, it's so good. We're never going to see this movie.
And
we did.
We did.
Like, they literally like recreated the test footage and everything, and it was amazing.
No, great movie. That's all I'll say. Great movie.
Yeah. All right. My number 4 was Hunt for the Wilder People.
Oh.
Taika Waititi. I've realized that Taika Waititi is pretty much up there for me with people like Denis Villeneuve and Edgar Wright, where like they haven't made a bad movie that I've seen. So anytime they do a movie, I'm like, I'm on board for this. So this made me even more excited to see Thor Ragnarok, because I've no idea how he's going to adapt to like the Marvel system, because Edgar Wright kind of like struggled with it, but Shane Black worked with it, and he, people were kind of on the fence about what he did with Iron Man 3, but the more I think about it, the more I go back and watch it, I'm like, you know what, this is a real good movie. I'm really on board for this. So I'm hoping for that, something like that. Because the 4 movies have been kind of hit and miss for people. I've enjoyed them fine, but I feel
they've
like
been fine.
I'm hoping that this is the one where like people go like, this is the good one. So
Marvel have a tendency in their trilogies to get better and better throughout. So, well, they're doing Planet Hulk, and apparently they have Planet Hulk with a bit of World War Hulk in it as well. I've heard now.
Ooh.
So they're doing a bit of each run in it, so that's good. And Doctor Strange is going to be in it.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is going to be in as well. So it's fucking everyone. All of the people who weren't in Civil War are going to be in it.
So that was your number 4?
Yeah, that's my number 4.
Okay, I feel like our top 3 might be similar again.
Maybe. We'll see what order they're in.
Okay, well, my number 3, drum roll. Captain America Civil War. Was that your number 3? Was it not?
That's my number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
All right.
Okay, well, Captain America Civil War is just it blew the last Avengers out of the water. It is just so far in the back of my mind now, Age of Ultron, it was great. But
It was
seeing all these heroes that we've been watching fight each other and just the emotions
much better.
and just,
Much better.
and just like this is
Like I liked Age of Ultron. I know people had problems with it. It's fine. I'm a bitch for this Marvel stuff, so I'm never gonna say it's outright bad for anything. I feel like it'd have to be pretty bad for me to go, nah, it's bad.
yeah.
But Civil War's so good. Fucking Spider-Man. We got Spider-Man back.
Spider-Man,
Black Panther.
See, and this is another classic case of spoiler alert where the villain, you don't think he does for a second, but then you're like, the villain kind of won.
He kind of did.
He kind of did.
Yeah, he got what he wanted. It's like, I wanted you to fight each other, and you did. Hooray for me, I win.
Yeah.
It's like, we caught you. Your plan was foiled. Was it?
Was it?
Shit, it wasn't, was it? No, I
and
got
it's
what
that-
they wanted.
And so that great line is like, an empire toppled by its foes will rebuild, but an empire that falls from within, that is broken, it won't recover. I'm like, deep.
He got him. Got him good.
And just also that classic quote at Peggy's funeral, just you have to plant yourself by the river of truth.
And
when
say
someone-
no.
You move. Yeah, classic. Like recently this year I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance number 2, and they have that quote in it, and I stopped playing. It's like, you must plant yourself by the river of truth.
I love Captain America so much.
I'm wearing my Captain America Civil War shirt right now, actually.
Yeah.
And
Cap.
fun fact, I'm getting a puppy, and I've named him. Guess what I'm naming him?
What are you naming him?
Bucky. Isn't that a good name for a dog?
That's a good name for a dog.
And it's a Captain America reference.
Nice.
I feel like I did well.
I feel like we should train him to respond to his recall code.
Bucky, train car.
No! And then as soon as you finish it, it just like sits down and it's like at attention. You're like, yes. Kill the president of Malaysia. Or the prime minister of Malaysia, whatever it is.
Yeah. Anyway, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Rogue One.
Oh,
Yeah. Number 2 was Captain America Civil War. Yeah, Rogue One. Or Star Wars.
yeah. Well, Rogue One was my number 2, actually. So
Oh, well, there you go. So I
we
guess
talked
both-
about Civil War together. Let's talk about Rogue
Yeah.
One together.
All right. Yeah. Phew, boy. That's some good Star Wars.
We only talked about this last week, not the week before even. So
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
y'all
But
know what we think about it. It was a great
yeah,
movie.
it was real good. That Darth Vader bit.
Oh, phenomenal.
Oh.
Oh.
So good.
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk much about it because we've already said it real recently. So
No, it's good. It's some good Star Wars. It has some problems, but it's still good Star Wars.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right.
Well,
I guess we both know what our number 1 is.
is it Arrival?
It's Arrival.
Yeah, both same number 1, Arrival. Oh my
Yeah.
god, this was so good.
Oh, so fucking good.
I didn't expect it to be this good. But it was.
I am in love with this director.
He did Sicario, which was great.
Sicario
and
is amazing.
Arrival, which
Prisoners
is even better.
is amazing. Arrival is so good.
Best
Also,
movie of the
I think
year.
It was the writer for Sicario who did Hell or High Water. So it's probably another reason why that movie is so goddamn good.
There we go.
Fuck, I love Dennis Villeneuve. He's amazing. He's doing Blade Runner 2049. This is another thing where like him doing that, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'm on board for that. Like Taika Waititi doing Thor Ragnarok. Oh fuck yeah, I'm on board for that. Taika Waititi's amazing.
Yeah. Oh. See, Arrival, I feel like it was such a good movie because what we don't see enough of is what happens when aliens come to Earth and they don't want to immediately kill us. Because that's all we
always
see.
that cop out of like, oh well, I've just eaten this like the Babelfish or Guardians of the Galaxy. I have this little chip in my ear and everyone speaks English and communication is easy. Like, no, talking with people is hard. Talking with another alien civilization with a completely different way of like processing how they think and how they formulate words and sentences and sentence structure. Fascinating. Yeah. Really get into it.
And this is all it's about. There's no conflict. This movie is about avoiding conflict. And it gets, there is a big twist in it.
And Australia is featured in it, which is, I'm always happy when I'm seeing, Australia.
Yeah, Australia's part of it. Now, and you know what? I'm going to say spoiler alert because we haven't made an episode of this, so I want to say spoiler alert so we can kind of talk about
spoiler it here. Like if you haven't seen it, go see it. All right. For those who have, stick around. All right, go.
Just how it clicks in your head the second she starts to realize that as you understand this language, you'll start to understand our perception of time. And that, you know, we've come here because we're going to need your help in 3,000 years, so we're helping you now.
That's like, and it's like the moment like they introduce time travel, and then you're realizing like you're thinking you're watching flashbacks of whoever kid, and that's why she's so kind of like fucked up is because a kid died. But then she's like, I keep seeing this kid. Who is she? And you're like, what?
What? Yeah, she's your daughter.
And then you realize,
I thought for a second she was forgetting it. That's what I thought for a second. She was forgetting her daughter because of the language. But no, she was remembering
something that hasn't happened yet. And then,
then you realize that the picture is Jeremy Renner's character.
So good. So amazing.
Brilliant storytelling. Brilliant.
Jeremy Renner isn't great in it. I don't think he gets a lot to do as much as like.
But he did well with what he's got, but Amy Adams is the one who's given a lot to do.
The show. She's amazing. She is.
And I want to say, Forrest Whitaker, for what he was in this movie, he was better than what he was in Rogue One.
Oh, definitely.
He didn't have a lot to do at all, but what he did do in this, he was so much better than Rogue One.
It was acting like a person in this, and not whatever weird strong choice. I'll always support a strong choice. Hey, a strong choice is better than no choice. But, man,
yeah. No, Arrival, if you haven't watched it, best movie of the year. We had some great movies this year, but this was
Arrival knocks it out.
Yeah.
I fucking loved
Arrival. Anyway, that's about the end of our list. And that's probably a 2-hour episode. This is a 2-hour episode.
Boy, it is. All right.
Fuck it. End of year special, start of year special.
What are you looking forward to in 2017?
What am I looking forward to in 2017?
Yeah.
Full Ragnarok, definitely. What else are we getting this year? Shit. I'm blanking so hard. I don't know. What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to Blade Runner 2049. Because Dennis Villeneuve. Thor Ragnarok. Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh yeah, cautiously optimistic.
Basically, all the superhero shit I'm looking forward to. I'm fucking fingers crossed that DC finally get their shit together this year.
Well, look, with how Chris Pine impressed me in Hell or High Water, I'm hoping that he'll carry Wonder Woman.
It just because I'm looking forward to Wonder Woman and I'm hoping it's good, but Gal Gadot isn't very good at acting. I'm gonna say, is that fair?
I think it's fair.
It is. She's kind of shit.
See, I think she's fine at the action, and she's fine at looking
she's fine
pretty.
At the action, and she looks the part, and she, when she isn't talking, she's fine. She's got some great kind of facial expression. So she's got, probably coming from like being a model, she's like really good at like expressing emotions through her face. But when she talks, it's just so stilted and like, I am a Wonder Woman. Hello, Gal Gadot. I'm from Israel. Hello. It's like,
Just saying, do you know how easy this would be for me to edit what you just said and make Alicia real angry at you? She's fine until she opens her mouth.
oh,
I'm half tempted.
nah. But yeah, I'm hoping, like, I like Ezra Miller. I like whenever he's like talking about playing the Flash and how enthusiastic he is about it. I'm like,
Yeah. So
maybe he'll like bring up Justice League, and Justice League won't be a piece of shit.
So I actually watched The Perks of Being a Wallflower this year. Finally.
Oh yeah.
I never wanted to because it was too Tumblr-y.
It was a bit Tumblr. I didn't see it, but it looked Tumblr. Is it good?
It's actually good. I didn't want to see it because it was too Tumblr, but I was home in Wagga recently, and my mum and sister wanted to watch it, so I'm like, fine. But it was actually good. And Ezra Miller,
it on Netflix or something?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay, I might check
and
it
Ezra Miller is really good in it. Dare I say it, the best I've seen him.
Oh, yeah.
And he was real good in We Need to Talk About Kevin. So yeah, best I've seen him.
All right, well,
let's wrap this up. It's a super long episode.
Yeah. Also, I think there's a new season of The Leftovers this year where I think they go to Australia. So, keen for that. I was looking up to see if did that season 2 come out for that this year or last year? It was December last year. So if that came out January this year, that would have been on my list.
Well,
I fucking love that show.
I want to say I'm cautiously optimistic about the second half of the Walking Dead season because they're finally doing All Out War, which is like, okay, it's supposedly one of the best comic book arcs of all time. Let's do this. Please be good.
Fingers crossed, eh? Also, I think there might be a new season of Master of None.
Yes, that's coming soon. I just looked it up.
Also, Iron Fist and Defenders. Obviously, as I mentioned before, all the comic book shit. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm optimistic about the year for entertainment. Politically, who the fuck knows?
We'll see.
I'm just hoping that there isn't nuclear annihilation before I get to see all my comic book shit. So, episode 8.
It keeps me up at night that I could die before the MCU finishes. In fact, I probably will die before it finishes. It'll
probably
outlive
keep
us.
going. Yeah,
it'll outlive us.
If we could just get to Infinity War Part 2 and end the 3 kind of phases. If I'm dead during Phase 4, so be it, I guess. But could I at least, get to see the end of this kind of era of the MCU? Is that too much to ask for?
Yes, you must go now.
Universe? Trump administration? Could you not kill us before we find out? Get to see Josh Brolin as Thanos properly? All right, let's end this.
Yeah. Let's do some plugs.
Okay.
But not of the butt variety.
Oh, we're getting there. Is it that time of the night? It's 1 a.m. Yes, it is.
It's butt plug time.
Ooh. If you would like to tell us what you thought was the best in TV shows, music, or movies last year, why don't you find us on Facebook, facebook.com/PCMR Podcast. We're also on Twitter @PCMR Podcast, also on Instagram @PCMR Podcast. We have our own personal Twitter accounts at Aiden's Vlog, AIDANSVLOG.
I'm at MeMan125.
We also have an email account, PCMRpodcast@gmail.com. Email us there if you like emails or your business inquiry, whatever.
Yeah.
Give us an email.
Who uses emails?
Who knows? We also have a website, PCMRpodcast.net, is where you can find the social media links, where you can find the audio. But if you don't want to go to a website to find audio, you can also find us on iTunes. Just type in PCMR Podcast, go there, subscribe, rate us, help us out. Or if you like watching audio, who doesn't, I guess.
We're just opening it in another tab and just doing other things.
Yeah, we're on YouTube, so PCMR Podcast. Type it in, you'll find us. Most of the recent stuff is there. And we're going to post there a lot more this year. Fingers crossed.
We'll be living together, so fingers crossed we'll actually start the weekly video uploads we've been trying to do.
We'll get to it.
We'll get
We'll live
to
up to that banner one day.
One day. We made it preemptively and we were never able to live up to it.
No, we're just not yet. But yeah, this year,
Sometime.
things are gonna get better.
Yeah. Hopefully
Woo!
for the world.
Can only get better. Can only get better. I don't know what do you what kind of what would music be like in 2017? I hope it gets better.
Farewell.
All right, bye bye. All right.